fascist. It's a third fascist has announced his candidacy, and poll says 20%. One of the fascists. And 20% in France is a lot.
Somebody has their audio playing.
20%.
Oh, shit.
That's not me. And I can hear myself, and it's awful. I hate you, Joe.
No, it's Isaiah.
Well, no, Isaiah's still connected to audio, so it wouldn't be Isaiah.
It was Joe. Totally Joe. Everybody hate Joe.
Yeah, it was Joe.
Can't hate Joe.
With his fantastic Freddy Krueger
Yes.
jumper. I love it. I want you to knit myself one, actually.
Oh.
That would be cool.
A Freddy Krueger jumper. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of the character, even if, I like the wicked humor.
Yeah, that would be something.
That's very silly. I miss silly horror movies. How do you pronounce that?
Horror.
Horror. That's a lot of roar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Your language is weird.
is. It is. And this is coming from the French person that has which the French language has way too many vowels.
Yeah, well, in French, it's pronounced horreur, so it has way too much.
So it's like Klingon.
Yes.
I like to watch horror movies.
When someone would say devil, I've always just say devil ropes with an X.
Also, my regional accent accentuates a little the R's, so I have a tendency to pronounce them deep in the throat, so they're very raspy in my region. So
raspy.
I have a fuzzy friend.
Yeah, that's not German raspy, but it's raspy.
You guys want to see something cool?
Sure.
Always. Tricorder?
Oh,
Yeah.
Nerd. Have you finished it?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
I finished like last year. So now I got.
Show it again. Show it again. You're on full screen here. Oh, cool. Well, your video isn't perfect, but
No,
yay.
It's better than it was last week.
Yeah. we had
VHS.
The lowest bar.
We had an internet outage like earlier today, and I woke up like super late. I woke up like super late too. I woke up at like 12.
David is trying to beat French with vowels. He meant inside a word, David, not the number of vowels that there is in the alphabet.
The most ridiculous thing about French to me is the counting.
Yeah, I know.
It's the counting. Like when you guys get to like 92, 93, it's ridiculous.
92 is
420, 10, 2.
It's 420, 10, 2, yes. No,
that's 420, 12.
2012.
So no, 420, 10, 8.
No, 18.
Yeah, Japanese language has a similar thing too, where it's just like they can't go beyond 10,000. They have to say 10,000, 10,000.
9,000.
Yes,
we
exactly.
we can't go above 70. No, 60, because 70 is 60-10.
So for everyone who wasn't here last week, I think that's Coach Julie. I like to present the panel with this magnificent award that I got for best writing film.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
so awesome.
It's a piece of paper proving that you finish a college
Congrats,
course.
babe. Is it your degree?
You need those things, man.
Yeah, it's my video certificate.
Yes.
It's not easy getting those white man papers.
No, not really.
I have one, but nobody cares because it says theater costumes.
And then when I went,
It's from France.
Space Center, I got.
Joe has a cat on his. No, it doesn't have a cat on his head anymore. I saw you sent it to
Yeah.
me.
She actually wasn't on my head. She was on my shoulder.
Yeah, there was
Just
her
back
tail above your head.
there. She's still back here. You just can't see it.
David, there's your face on your. Oh my God!
Well,
You changed your profile picture on YouTube. That's your face now.
I'm assuming that's his face. Otherwise, he's like.
I know that's his face.
Okay.
I saw him on Facebook.
Assuming
That's his beard. Beard.
beard.
I haven't talked in 2 weeks with you, and I don't know how to speak English anymore.
It's okay. We don't know how to speak English either.
Look, Mylene gave me this, and it's for.
Speaking of tea bags.
It's for tea. It's amazing because I always did roll it around a spoon and burn my fingers while I was. What is the word when
Steeping?
you press something
Oh,
so the liquid is flowing?
Squeeze.
Squeeze. Thank you.
There's no French word for squeeze.
Yes, there is.
squeeze.
Pressé.
Squeeze.
So
Actually,
That's
because
so
it's French,
easy,
it's
yes.
esquisse. But
No. Did you just pronounce an English word with a French pronunciation?
yes, and I put the E in front of it because it starts with S because that's what you do.
Sometimes when I don't know a word and I try,
That's what I do when I'm trying to speak French and I don't know a word. I just use the English word and make it sound French.
I think everyone does that, but I don't have as much as an excuse because I can speak English. My English is what's the word to say that I can speak it well?
It's called
Fluent.
French English.
Thank you.
Not
I
shite.
almost said mercy because merci is thank you.
Yeah.
that much I knew. I remember that much from like high
I
school
know.
French.
I told you. I haven't talked
I
to
gotta
you
say,
in
even-
2 weeks,
even-
and I don't know how to speak anymore.
Even in French, cover your eyes is it sounds very sexy.
What?
So if you guys ever seen The Day After Tomorrow,
les yeux?
yeah. If you guys
Yes,
ever saw
couvrez vos yeux. Yes.
if you guys ever saw The Day After Tomorrow, there's that scene where she's like getting the people out the taxi before the tidal wave hits.
The what?
Have you seen The Day After Tomorrow, the movie? The
Oh God, no!
yeah. So
Tommy Cruise
I
movie?
refused to watch that movie. I know it's a Roland Emmerich movie.
It is. And it's a movie that ends with a big climactic scene of like all the characters out running super cold.
yeah,
Oh,
but
it's super cold. It's not tsunami.
Yeah, global
something like
warming
that.
will lead to a new ice age.
Yeah, but there's that scene where Emmy Rawson, the girl character, tells the I think the black French people to like cover their eyes in French, and it's very like sexy.
Couvrez vos yeux. Why do you? I don't think the French pronunciation of anything is sexy, but
I think
It's just an American thing.
That's an American thing, yeah.
Actually, no, also, possibly, no, just American. I don't know about British.
because if I start saying things like la putain de sa mère, bordel de merde, it's not sexy.
Not when you say it like that.
That was a lot of curse words.
Okay, so that guy from the Sacred Matrix movies was lying to us then, because to him, swearing in French is like wiping his ass with soap.
Yes, it's Lambert Wilson. He's a French actor, and the character is an asshole.
Yes,
And
well,
he
yes.
plays assholes very often, and he's very good at that.
Do you like Leah Seydoux?
I don't know who that is.
She's the blue-haired girl, right? Hi, Mithril.
Hey,
Oh,
Mithril.
hi, 255AD.
Yes.
Fancy seeing you here. Hi.
That does suck that you never learned French because your French teacher refused to let the special ed support in the classroom for some reason. Yeah, that it's like, especially. Yeah, especially.
What is a léger compradon? What is that? Because I heard that from Home Alone.
The what?
Oh, les incompetents just means the incompetent.
Okay.
Yes.
Because in Home Alone,
Kevin, you're what the French call les incompétents.
Yeah.
Oh, the incompetence. Okay, it's plural. Les is the plural. Also, I put my cam today. Hi.
Yes, hello.
Because I'm sick of waving at no cam. Also, I took a bath today, so I look like a human being.
So if everyone says that to you, Julie, you're a dirty commie, you say, how dare you took a bath today?
Yes. Well, Mylene bought some girly stuff pink that you put inside your bath that smells very good. So there was a lot of foam and I smell like flowers, which is not every day.
Better than what you usually smell like, yeah.
And I have one of Mylene's pajamas, which is very big for me because she's 1 foot taller than me. So I have my tattoo out too. So
that was a nice tattoo, though. Yeah, you got the 80s shoulder, shoulder having.
I have the whole arm and the back too.
Nice.
But I want to make it when I have money one day, maybe. I want to go on the neck and on the boob.
Yes. So that's a good enough reason to give Julie money and
give Julie money so she can pay her debt, and when my debts are paid, I can keep my small income to live.
You have an OnlyFans now, right?
Not yet.
She's been thinking about doing foot stuff.
Yes, but I have gold polish on my toenails. I just need to be motivated to take the photos, and I'm not. I've been struggling with depression past 2 weeks, hard. So I haven't done a whole lot. But yesterday I made a cake, and today I took a bath, and I'm trying to take my meds responsibly, which I haven't done.
Did you make a cake or did you make quiche? Which one was it?
It was a pineapple, the one
upside down.
Upside down pineapple cake. That's
pineapple
so
upside
good.
down. Yeah. It should be upside down pineapple cake, but it's a pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what kind of cake with the caramel and the pineapples and
because English is ridiculous.
Yes, I agree.
Language are ridiculous. So I tried to learn Chinese, Mandarin, and it was not fun.
I like to eat my pineapple upside down cake with the pineapple on the bottom. Just refer to it as pineapple cake.
Shut up, Joe.
And for that, you
muted. So welcome to the Alchemy bench. It says
David's not a full house because David is snubbing us. He doesn't want to come.
David or Tabby?
House?
No, not Dollhouse.
No.
Everywhere you go.
And there's not Tom, so no full house.
There's not a full house. Yeah, there's 7 people in the call, but Taffy, you can jump on in if you want to say hi and talk about it. Always. And it's the second Sunday of the month. So here on the Alchemy bench, it's a lot of people: John Brockman, me, Summer and Geek, Isaiah, our friend Joey Fire, Lame Deer, and of course Little Ano, and our 2 patrons, Ellie and Joe. Ellie, Joe, say hi.
Yeah, I'm not a patron anymore because I'm in debt and.
I'll do it.
The bank can't. Patreon keeps sending me mails to tell me we can't take the money on your account. Yes, I know.
Really? Because most other companies will be willing to do that. Charge your credit cards or take your money from the bank.
I don't have a credit card. They can't. If there's no money on my account, they can't take it now. That's difficult. I have. Oh God.
Maybe YouTube have some of those rules that have. I have to look into certain services though.
It's a pain in the butt, but it's to prevent people to be too indebted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As of now, I'm just indebted to the bank and how do you call that? The public finances, people who take taxes.
The revenue services.
I'll say we call it the RS. You probably call it something else.
Yes, well,
the service de
we
ferme
say
générale.
Impôt, taxes. We just call them taxes.
Yeah, revenue services. Like we call it the IRS.
I owe them like $150 and $1,000 to the bank. I paid ex-partner paid the storage unit because they were starting to lose their shit. Like, we're going to sell your stuff, madam.
Yeah, they would do that. But yeah, so it's like I guess that's kind of like a prevention protection measuring of like not charge just denying payments from like some subscriptions or something like that, just so that you don't go further in debt. It'd be nice if those kind of features are here in America.
Yeah, those don't like that when they're they can't take the money on your account, but at least it limits the overdraft fees.
Yeah.
Well, my bank is shitty, so it doesn't help that much, but yeah, they don't give credit cards to people who don't make at least 1,500 euros a month.
You can't go into debt if you don't have.
I have I had a Visa card, so I can pay with it, but it's not a credit card. The payment is now.
A
I
debit
pay.
card.
No, it's not a credit card. It's
No,
a
debit.
as
card.
a debit card.
It's
where
a debit. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we call them payment cards here.
That which it kind of makes sense since direct payment cards have direct payments from the banks. That's where.
Yeah, no, I would never take a credit card. I'm way too irresponsible with money.
Oh yeah, but like the credit card. But once you have a job here in America, even if you were just like at the movie theater and you're just in high school,
yeah, but your
credit card,
your country is really irresponsible with loans and credits.
Oh yes.
No, we're very responsible. We know exactly what we're doing.
We're just
Our
really bad
country's
with money.
irresponsible a lot more than that.
Yeah, but what I mean, you give the banks and stuff like that, give money even to people who can't possibly reimburse it.
Because
so
Well, it was the 80s. It was, buy now.
No, this was 10 years ago.
That's what caused the 2008 crash, which just like the subprime mortgages and all those, like they gave out those loans to people who really couldn't afford it, as it were, essentially. And some of those people not understanding like the full things is all because of the deregulations of the banks in the 90s, because of the Glass-Steagall was the last like protection from FDR's like New Deal that was removed by Biden and Bill Clinton and Democrats. And it wasn't until like we didn't feel the ramifications of that until like 2008, because capitalism, there's no bottom to the greed in capitalism, as it were. And so
it's always interesting because a lot of people tell, like, I guess a lot of old people tell, no offense to old people in the call, but they tell us
no offense to all old people, especially Julie,
that we need to save money because it's going to be a rainy day.
Fuck you, Joey is older than me.
I think I'm the oldest one on the call right now.
I'm not the old one today.
Sorry, you were saying, Isaiah?
No, I was saying it's like other people, like, it's like the country wastes money like all the time. And
yes, it does.
Oh yes, your army budget is ridiculous.
That's not a waste of money. That's just that's sensible. We got to fight communism.
I mean, I'm not going to complain as a French because you buy a lot of shit from us, mostly planes.
Oh yes, we do.
You give us a lot of money for planes. You don't want our trains though, so.
Yeah, that sucks.
We also don't want your cars, because fuck your cars. The Renault. Renault.
Yes.
What kind of name is that? Renault. God.
I mean,
it's Renault. You don't pronounce the consonants at the end.
No, I'm doing this on purpose, Julie. It's a bit.
as you're saying, Joey.
Oh, I was just saying, aside from Russia, United States is like one of those countries that has tons of room to put some great trains, and we don't.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why.
No, it's because
money.
The car industry.
You need cars to pick up the honeys, duh.
I think yes, the call that actually ties to it. The car.
I think your country has too much stake in gas.
Yes, too much stake in the oil industry, too much stake in like the car culture, the motor, and the.
As in Europe, we prefer our high-speed trains because they're safe. They're more environmental friendly than plane, and they're way less expensive. They're still expensive. Honestly, a train ticket is to go from Lyon to Paris. I had to pay $80.
I believe it's pronounced Paris. You don't pronounce the final S. Boom!
Shit, that's almost nothing compared to the prices we pay here for the passenger trains.
I know.
And our passenger trains get sidetracked, and they have to sit and wait forever because
are you trying to tell her how
life in France is a little less expensive, so we gain less. The salaries are a little
because it's like
smaller too. So multiply by 1.2 if you want an equivalent. So 80 times 1.2, it's maybe $100 for 500 kilometers. That's what, 400 miles, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, it's the culture of the car. That's why I think
take your meds, babe.
We don't invest a lot in trains up over here, unfortunately.
So it's expensive, but it's like 3 times less expensive than plane here. So
as Tavi says, like gas and asphalt, if memory serves, the reasons why the Koch brothers were so big on finding public transit and was part of why they sell asphalt. You're not surprised. Yeah, that's whenever you find like why is like the USA, America so far behind like other countries, or at least European countries, with public services and all that.
Well, Emily, there are planes in the US. So
there are planes in the US.
Individual independence is not really the issue here. I understand it on the point of view of public transportations inside cities, but for interstate travel,
well, remember, within a state, our individual states are as big as your countries.
I know. That's why I say the train, the individual independence isn't really the issue here because planes exist.
Yeah, you would think because like our country is so spread out, we would have more trains, but we don't do that. But
we used to. Once upon a time, we used to be the world leader in trains, but that was also
that's what they used to colonize the whole freaking country was the trains.
Yes, that's when you could use the Chinese people to build it.
Yeah, and the Irish. We also
African slaves.
Talk about the racist
actually we didn't use slaves to build the railroads because we only built them up north. The South was fucking anemic. The South was as developed as Eastern Europe.
The South had slaves too, though.
Yeah, but they didn't have trains, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
so we didn't. We did not. That was the one thing we didn't use slaves for, was building railroads.
But if we use immigrants and exploit their labor for cheaply as well, which is very common amongst America's
also, we
history.
did use former slaves.
Yeah, the UK isn't in Europe anymore, Mithril. Stop it.
That's right.
I know you're saucy about it, but
if you don't have a car in this country, you're pretty much assed out. And buying a used car too is pretty expensive.
It is terrible sometimes, and also what was I listening to recently? I don't know if it's like old podcast or something like that, but people do actually kind of your car can easily just get repossessed, as it were, and if they're just missed payments. And I think that was actually one of the things that John Oliver covered on used cars. Is they followed one used car and had 10 different owners across 5 years or something like that, because poverty, capitalism, and people just miss their payments, and so it's just like
You need a car to get to work, and then all your money goes to paying for the car.
Yeah, in France, in most cities, you don't need a car. Honestly, my ex just sold his car because it's too much money for it doesn't use it apart from going to do the groceries.
What kind of car was it? A Peugeot?
What?
What kind of car was it? A Peugeot?
It was a Renault. It was a small, the Clio model, the small ones.
My country is ass. I sometimes hate living here.
Yeah, mine too. Not for the same. Well, yes, for the same reasons. Not in the same.
Right.
Your country's asshole is a peacock. Mine is a rooster.
What's the difference?
We're more
yours is very showy.
Yes, we are very showy with ours, while like France is very noisy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, the Taffy. I'm gonna look that up because it may be like a conflict leasing that like was built the railroads, and so or I have to like do some research to confirm that.
I bet if I told them that if I told someone what I just said, they'd be like, "Well, you can leave. You don't like it here." It's like,
yeah, no, it's not that easy. Now that I'm trying to leave, it's not that easy, even when you're white. So I can't even imagine when you're not.
Moving anywhere on the planet is difficult if you're not white.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't lucked out, and that's the thing, you have to be so lucky. So lucky. You have to know just the right person, you have to talk to just the right people, and you have to have those people actually be concerned for your welfare. Like to have all those things line up for you to get anywhere in this world if you're not white, it's just absolutely incredible the hoops that you have to go through.
I mean, there's a lot of white people that can't move because they're white, but they're just poor as hell.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you're poor and not white, it's even worse.
Yeah, because they're just one bank account, away from being able to do what they want to do.
I mean,
like even if I were rich, I couldn't do what I wanted to do, even if I had tons of money.
I just miss money to live where I want to live, and there's like fundraising for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to do in 6 months if I'm still not awarded a social housing. I'm leaving, and I'll find the money. I mean, the plane ticket is $1,000, and I'll need maybe another 1,000 to have my stuff shipped.
Will New Zealand let you in? I know countries are usually.
I'm white, of course. They're going to let me in.
Oh yeah, that 25580. That's a good question. Literally, oh no, what bird would the UK be if, since like America is the peacock and France is the rooster? What bird would the UK be? Metro suggests a dying seagull, which is quite accurate.
No, duh. It's obviously a pigeon.
What about emo?
I like the seagull, dying seagull, but well, I am disabled, but I don't need ramps. I'm lucky.
See, I would say more like one of those really mean, nasty ass magpies they have in Australia that like dive bomb you all the time and attack you out of nowhere. Like you'll just be walking along in Australia and all of a sudden one of these birds out of nowhere will just dive bomb you and attack your head.
What bird?
Magpie.
Magpie.
Oh, I love magpies.
Well, the Australian ones are actually
in Australia, everything is trying to kill you. So yeah. No, I was thinking a pheasant.
Or maybe a swan, because swans are psychopaths or really aggressive.
And the queen fucking owns all the swans. So
yes.
For some reason.
And swans, let's see, Zeus turned into a swan, so swans are probably.
I thought about pheasants because of hunting, but.
Danny, champion of the world.
But the UK hunts mostly
Which
foxes.
bird like tried to colonize everywhere though?
I'm gonna say so
that's the bird.
Swallows.
A cuckoo.
Way tougher than it actually is.
Cuckoo. That's what cuckoos do. They
Cuckoo.
Yes, they put their eggs in other birds' nests, and they trick the other birds into raising their young.
Oh, the cuckoo. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Where the word cuck comes from.
So
as well.
you're saying that England cucked the world?
Well, didn't they?
No!
I mean, they
Kinda.
fucked the world. So
Well, yes, that's for sure. And then we continued on the fuckery because we want to be the best.
Oh man,
Yeah.
the sentence "cuck the world" is doing terrible things in my brain.
Well,
I'm imagining the sponge heal the world, but a little different.
Oh, that should be a title for future. So it's just Alchemy, cuck the world.
no, don't
might have to be the name
give
of
John
this one.
ideas that he's going to do.
I'm
Stop
going to
it,
change it
Jonathan.
right now. This is no longer rapid onset whiteness dysphoria.
I like that one title though.
Oh my god.
The promotional materials that I put out for like this episode talks about us. Come in. and
Okay,
talk
rapid
about-
onset whiteness dysphoria will stay. Next week we'll cuck the world.
Yes,
Yes.
next week. That's right. Right here. Next week. So it's just Alchemy. We'll cuck the world.
Ugh.
So since today is Patreon days, I have a funny story about one of our patrons, but he's not here. It's Tim.
Mm.
So 2 weeks ago when I was here, he sent me money on Patreon. But- I don't know if you remember, but he had his baby that was vomiting on him.
Yes.
And he fucked up with the Patreon thing, and he sent me 0.48 euros. I think he wanted to send
You
me
couldn't even buy a
48.
Coke for that, could you?
I think he sent 50 Canadian dollars, but he wanted to send 50 Canadian dollars, but he forgot the after the comma or the point. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Just 15.
when I had the alert from Patreon, I saw the thing and I was laughing my ass off. That was very funny.
It's amusing. That you
I
don't
would
know
have
how you
preferred
just pronounce that.
$50, but it was very funny.
It almost makes you wonder how many fuck ups have happened in the world because somebody was really, really tired from a new baby.
Yes.
Well, that is a distinctly modern phenomenon, though. Back in the
Yes.
day, you used to have families, so it wasn't just you and the baby.
That's right. Like big houses, long houses, grandma.
No, it was your wife.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
true.
baby.
Well, yeah, it was also
now it's
everyone.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying is that we used to have communities to help.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah, there were a
Maybe in
bunch
your
of tired.
country, not in mine.
No.
No, I'm pretty sure you
It takes
had
a
families
village.
too.
Isn't a
Well, if
saying
you go
in
far
French.
enough, back in Europe, don't you get back into a tribal setting again though?
No, I don't think it exists anymore.
Like weren't
Well,
the
I'm not
Gauls-
saying
didn't they
it
have
now
we
today,
have-
but once upon a time, way
Yeah.
back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
like
That's what I'm saying.
I was
Yes,
thinking about
when-
like
when we
Gaulish
were
life.
still
Yeah,
hunter-gatherers, you mean?
Well, I mean, even just a few hundred years ago, the peasants lived in,
Yes.
Oh, yes,
communities.
peasants. Okay, yes.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
like the modern
feudalism.
industrial world with
But
the
weren't-
fiction of the nuclear family.
Yeah.
Hi, Emilie, we saw
Yeah.
you.
At least in Denmark, the peasants, it was kind of enforced that they had to live in certain places. They couldn't just move around for the
Mhm.
for the big what's it called, estates. You couldn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You couldn't travel, you couldn't pick up and leave, you were tied to the land.
No, you. So
Goals, I think, at having not Goths and what now is France. Unless you're
The Goths and the
Gold,
Visigoths
yes,
and the
Goths
Ostrogoths, they were the Germans.
Germans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Germans,
Yeah, it was
Ostrogoths, and
Gauls.
Visigoth.
But
And
hey,
it has
Goths and
nothing
France,
to do with the Goths who wear black and are sad all the time. It's not the same.
No, they looked more like me and they sacked Rome.
Yes.
God damn it, Dave.
You-
Barbarians.
Tavi, you said fuck the English. That's why, like, Metro said, because Metro's English. And I'm
Mitro
sorry,
is
Metro.
English, sadly for him.
Yes, and sadly, Mithril is no longer in the UK. And don't worry, Mithril's a friend. It's good.
David says the nuclear family will provide endless clean energy for the future.
No,
Wait,
no.
you don't live in England anymore, Mithril?
I thought he was still in Liverpool.
The north.
Yeah,
near...
Franks were the French tribe in the north.
Mm-hmm.
And in the south, the Romans took over. So that look at my fucking face. I am 100% Roman. Okay, I am half French and half Italian. 100% Roman.
So we're going to blame. So we're going.
I was going to say you have the classic Roman unibrow.
Yeah, so we're going to blame you.
I don't have a unibrow. Go fuck yourself.
I kind of do sometimes. So we're going to blame you for colonizing all of Europe then. It's your fault that your people colonized most of Europe.
Yes, I know.
Okay, wait, that's been settled. Tomorrow is Indigenous Peoples Day, and it's been officially proclaimed by Joe Biden.
Are you happy, Joy? Yeah. You have a day for you.
It's my day.
Just the one day for you.
I get to walk around and pushing people around, just shoving them out of the way.
And tell them, fuck you.
That's how my mom acts on Mother's Day.
On that day only, I am allowed to make my own flag and go plant it wherever I want and say I've discovered it.
Yes!
Oh! This is mine now.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Tabby. Hi, Tabby.
Hi, Tabby.
Let me get the other window muted.
My birthday falls on Thanksgiving. So we don't. So we can just celebrate my birthday instead of Thanksgiving.
I thought Thanksgiving wasn't a fixed date.
No, it's not a fixed date. So sometimes it does fall on.
Oh, it's just this year, Isaiah.
Yeah, this year Thanksgiving falls on my birthday.
Yes, but as I.
How old will you be? 22.
He's gonna be like 12, maybe 13.
I'm gonna be like 29.
Oh, 9! Oh God, I thought you were way younger than that.
It's a black jeans. Black doesn't crack.
Yeah, that's fucking.
How old are you?
That's not fair.
How old do you think I was?
She thought you were 21.
22 or 23, something like that.
Isaiah's actually
early 20s.
29, yeah.
For a minute, I heard 39. I'm like, Isaiah's older than me.
No. Joey be older than you, and so it's John Ruffin and
older than you too. I'm 42.
Yeah, I'm the oldest on here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're just
43,
the oldest
44?
because Tom isn't here.
I was gonna say today I'm the honorary Tom.
It's just that, so we feel old. Don't give him the satisfaction.
When is I don't know when that day is, David. I think all of us have like a lot of
every day is Thanksgiving.
Yes, exactly. However,
wait a minute, it is. I thought we had no fucks to give.
Yeah, except the days when you are out of fucks to give. I mean,
okay.
I mean,
so,
that's like every day.
Thanksgiving is always tomorrow. Tomorrow.
You're not in Europe, Mithril. You left.
Oh,
okay,
it's like the jam.
I thought it was always yes.
All I want for my birthday is you.
Who are you saying that to? This is important context.
I find myself.
I'm pretty sure he says that to Mariah Carey.
Just ran out of fucks.
Yeah. So yes. But actually, Tim, my Taka teacher from Canada, just celebrated Thanksgiving not too long ago, like on Friday, something like that.
Oh, Canada does that too?
Yes, Canada does Thanksgiving, but they do it in October.
Okay. What do they think? Because you should be thanking indigenous people for putting up with you for all those centuries, but that's not what you do.
No.
What do
they think Avril Lavigne? She's French.
What?
Yeah, from Canada.
Okay, Isaiah, I love you, but stop dropping bombs completely out of context. I can't do that.
The context is I mentioned Canada.
Bean is totally French. Oh no, it froze. My stupid internet. There we go. My internet's back.
Autists.
Hey.
I guess not.
Well,
Go ahead, Tavi.
I was gonna say, if you want to talk about Canada and First Nations people, there's shit going on there right now.
The Wet'suwet'en people are like
Well,
defending their
that's
lands.
why we asked
Yeah.
Joey to be here, even though they can be here whenever they want.
Yes.
But because Joey is indigenous, not from Canada though, but
it's still
from the where there's the awful defacing of the mountain.
Oh, yes. Mount
What's your
Rushmore.
tribe, Joey? Lakota?
Lakota.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I am
Forgot
from
that.
the
Yay.
I'm from the United States Lakota, because there are Canadian Lakota too. My tribe is one of the tribes that was crossed by the borders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like the Mohawk.
Oh, I have a friend like that. He's Mohawk and he's in Canada, but he votes in the United States. He explained to me that this tribe is on the border, so he could, when he came of age, he could choose in which country he wanted to vote.
I see. And
I chose the U.S. Why the fuck would anyone do that?
I think he thought it was more important to vote in the US than in Canada. And I kind of agree.
There's a point there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He is disabled and full-blooded Mohawk. He has the face, it doesn't look like a white guy. So I think
so he's not Daniel Day-Lewis. He's Daniel Day-Lewis's dad.
Yeah.
Yes. He's more the bad guy in that movie. I don't remember his name.
Natty Bumpo.
It does make a difference though. Like there's, I've got.
No, but what I mean is, it doesn't look white at all. So I think it's more in his interest to vote in the US than in Canada.
It's important if you don't have passing privilege.
Yeah.
It's it becomes important to, well, I mean, even if you do have passing privilege, hopefully you have the awareness at least to know that you've got passing privilege and you're voting, for the benefit of your non-passing relatives.
Yeah.
But if you do, or if you don't have passing privilege, it becomes even more incumbent upon you, I think anyway, to be politically involved. Especially
when you have a lot other stuff that are oppressing you, like disability. Also is old, like Tom old. And so he doesn't have a lot of, imagine a native guy that's old and disabled. It doesn't have a lot of rights. That's at least it's not a woman and it's not trans. But on the other axis, it's fucked. It's being honest. I met him on anarchist memes though, so it's cool.
That's cool. But and that was like actually a problem with like COVID hitting the indigenous tribes as well, as like some of the elders. Some of those elders are the ones that still hold the language and the only ones that can teach the language as it were. And some of those elders like unfortunately passed away because of COVID, because it hit those communities hard.
Yeah, there were some tribes that lost their last fluent speaker.
I was reading about some of that in South America and the Amazon.
Yes, exactly. Because the indigenous tribes in like the Amazon, especially, but in other parts of Latin America.
In South America, it's with the rainforest, it's getting really dire for native people there.
Or sometimes just capitalism, like some people who speak Zapotec from like Honduras.
But I mean with Bolsonaro.
Yes, exactly.
Unfortunately, they have a good, strong man to help them out.
And
it's become really dire for them, really worse.
I mean, in Guatemala, we funded a dictatorship that killed the Mayan people, right?
Yep, we did that. A lot of, or like just capitalism, like indigenous people in Honduras.
I
were
mean,
forced
if
off their
there's
lands because like the river that they used to fish from for generations, the rights to that land where the river is on is owned by a company, and so they forced the indigenous people off or told them you can't fish here, and so like that's so they had to move.
If there's a dictator that is worse than the people they topple somewhere in the world, you can be sure the Americans put them here. Can we talk about?
I'm not saying that everything
Iran?
is our fault, but maybe like 55,
Iran
58%.
is the best example of that.
Enough of the stuff is our fault that it's safe to assume that it's probably our fault.
I mean, you flip a coin, it'll be heads less
no,
often than it's
addendum
America's
to
fault.
that, Haiti is definitely our fault.
Yes, Heidi is
French.
definitely on. Oh yeah, the French.
Oh yeah, the French fucked up Haiti.
We've helped make it worse though.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
but-
have
We picked up where you left off.
yes.
Yes,
And
but
cl-
if we hadn't fucked with it, they would have been in shape to defend themselves against you.
Yes, that's right. But
Well,
then
there
again,
is a huge geographical issue with Haiti. They're on the wrong side of the mountain. As I understand, it's a much more arid climate.
They have
a lot
all
more
the fucking
earthquakes,
and tornadoes and
earthquakes and hurricanes, and they don't really
Hurricanes,
have they
that
don't
was
have
the
the
word I
good
wanted.
farming base to really maintain.
And on the other side of the island, there's the Dominican Republic,
who have
Yes.
the much more
pretty much thriving. It's not a nation funded by slaves, though, so it's not just the natural disasters.
and Evan, right now I've got the
Hey,
official
you got a
office
Tom.
member of
Hey,
the
Tom.
member of
Tom.
the-
Tom.
Hi.
So you're not the
Hi.
the eldest anymore.
Dang
Joey.
it.
Damn.
Hi, Tom.
Hello, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
How you doing?
You're getting back your Pratchett beard. I'm very happy.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, we can
Hi,
hear you.
we can hear you.
Hi. Okay. I keep forgetting to
Mute the stream.
turn off the stream.
Mhm.
So no, I heard people talking about white people being bad, and I needed to jump in because, my God, how oppressed my people are.
Old white guys, you mean?
Yeah. I'm old and I'm beat up, and people keep picking on me. And tomorrow, even my personal hero Columbus is being fucked over in many places.
Oh, but tomorrow is previously Columbus Day.
Yes, exactly.
That's why it's now
Yes.
Indigenous
Oh.
Peoples
Well,
Day.
it's
Okay.
That's why it's
indigenous.
now it's
Depends
Native
on where you
American
are.
Day.
Depends on where you are, and I just had
Depends on the state and city. Yeah.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
people, some places still.
Oh, it
celebrate
wasn't a federal decision?
No,
no,
the federal,
no,
the
it's-
feds did change it, but what
Yes.
happened is even though the feds changed it, there's still a bunch of racist assholes that don't want to.
That's
Yes.
true, but
Racists
they
in
shouldn't have a
America?
choice. That's the problem with your country.
I heard in
You let
Florida.
racists have a choice.
Is
I
like,
In my
agree.
country, if you say racist shit on TV, you go to prison.
well, here's how they here's,
unless you
actually-
belong to that one party that
Well,
is probably going
that
to win next
depends
time.
how you say it.
Or
Yeah,
filed
but-
to be president.
or you're like the one American network, as were, and you get a bunch of funding, like tens of millions of dollars from AT&T, as Reuters reported
Right,
and leaked that.
right.
Oh, is that
information.
where they got their money?
Yes,
AT&T,
AT&T.
it's like
CNN's parent
90% of it.
company.
Like 90% of it. I
Yes,
hear.
exactly. Tens of millions. Yes, they could not, because they wanted a like conservative network, a network that's
Yep.
just
The
of
same
conservatives.
people that fund CNN
Yes.
funded One American Network.
But fair and balance, I guess. So it's not just Rupert Murdoch that we had to like.
No, but it's not about the network, though, in France.
Yeah.
It's just that hate speech is illegal.
Oh,
That's the end of it. So,
Yeah,
but
I
there's
mean,
so
you
many ways
can
to
be
get away with hate
racist
speech around that.
all you want at home, but on TV, you just shut your mouth or you're fine.
Yeah,
or
if
go
you
to
just
prison.
change your words around, though, because
Yeah.
I've heard plenty of bigoted
Oh,
stuff
yes.
coming out of their mouths.
Yes.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
but at least they can't say the N word or stuff like that on TV.
okay, yeah, there's
Well,
that.
I mean,
they
it's
can.
not
They just have to say it.
perfect.
They pronounce it
Don't
urban.
get me wrong, but I think
Instead
the
of-
law against hate speech is
Or
a very
thugs.
good thing.
Mhm.
Oh, they
Yeah.
have they just say thugs instead of like the N words. That's the way to do it. It's a word. Just like how politicians have to say
Or
welfare
inner
queen.
city. That's
Or
another
in-
way to say
oh,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
inner
Inner city.
That's a good
David
one.
is asking, why do people hate Colombo?
Yes. I mean, he just wants to say one more thing.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
more
Wouldn't
thing.
keep saying one more thing.
One last genocide.
I never saw this show in English. I always saw it dubbed. And it was
Columbo
pretty
is.
awful. So.
Tomorrow is Indigenous Peoples Day, especially been proclaimed federally. But yet, it's Google. It still shows up on Google's calendar. Tomorrow is also Christopher Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day. So it's just like, check your local listings, I guess.
My favorite joke from this had to be, or from the switchover is, what do you call it? They're changing Christopher Columbus Day into Indigenous Peoples Day. And we hear that Christopher Columbus is rolling over into other people's graves and claiming
He thinks other people's graves is India.
Yeah. Probably in the wrong part of the country or wrong part of the world too.
Yes, exactly.
He was there checking for spices. That's all.
I think it was the official reason for scouting another route to India, because there was
they wanted one that wasn't dominated by the Portuguese.
With I don't remember which country. Portuguese?
Portugal. Portugal was the one that
they rounded a Cape of Storms and so on.
But saying the colonization of the US was about spices, no. The founding of the trips were, but once they found a country where there was more gold than in Africa, and there was cocoa. Don't get me started on cocoa.
Cocoa and coca.
Are you saying you have cocoa takes?
I love chocolate, but
I
mean, it is the reason for a lot of shit.
Yep.
Yes, it's just like, I love spices too. I actually use pepper and like other spices too, but like I hate that it like this was colonization was the start of all the Dutch East India Company. And
that's what I say. It's not the spice and chocolate and all that.
Well,
the problem.
I've repeatedly, when people have said, "Yeah, but we'll look at all the stuff the positive things that happen." My point is always, yeah, okay, I get what your point is. However, what if? Let's just say, what if none of the colonization part had to happen? What if they actually shared? What if they actually traded?
We actually traded with the people who were there?
They're willing to as well, because from like Christopher Columbus's own accounts that like the Tainos were very generous as were. He just saw that as a way to exploit them terribly.
Yeah, exactly. And what if the opposite were true? What if instead the first people who came with a sense of, of humanity, with a sense of humanity for anybody that they were going to meet?
I don't think you understand white culture.
I'm just going to say that I still feel like that phrase is an oxymoron, but I've got a whole
white culture?
White culture?
White culture.
It's not really an oxymoron.
The assimilation and
it's just a lie.
Yeah, it's just
because there's no such thing as whiteness.
Black culture only has a sense in the US, though.
Because, and that's more.
Well, yeah, but that's because it has to. It doesn't have anything else.
I mean, Black culture as a whole doesn't exist. The cultures are okay. 1, 2, 3. Cultures are as varied in Africa than in Europe.
Oh yes, there's so many different
Well, I mean, Africa's huge. It's absolutely massive. Like, talk about.
But especially when you see, I don't know, Morocco and South Africa. I mean, if you think that all Africa, I don't talk about you. It's a general you. If you think that Africa is a thing because we see a lot.
Africa is actually a lie made up by Egypt.
African restaurants, and I'm like, which part? African restaurants. I'm sorry, Morocco and Tunisia don't have same cuisine and their neighbors.
I mean, the Congo and Egypt are both on the same continent.
Yes. How do you what? And it's very racist. And I think in Europe we have the same thing about indigenous cultures in the US and Canada, and the whole of America, though. We have a tendency to think of them as the indigenous culture.
It's like saying Japan, Hungary, Eurasia, it's the same thing.
Yeah, David said in the chat, Africa is the biggest country west of Asia. Shut up, David. But yet people go like talk about Asian cuisine as well. It's like, what specifically are you talking about? Because I can tell you.
Well, when you watch culinary shows, they're more precise. Southeast Asian.
Yes. Filipinos, like Japanese, Chinese, Mandarin, or Cantonese, Mongolian, Thai.
I mean, it just inside of China, the food is widely different in the north and the south of China. So,
there's a lot of differences there.
Midway says Africa is a lie made up by cultural Marxists, obviously. Duh.
There's a lot of things that happen. So yeah,
I want to go to the restaurant that has cuisine. That would be good.
What's cuisine?
Never
heard of that.
It's they're one of the last actual nomadic, or not nomadic, last hunter-gatherer groups out there.
Oh,
did you ever see?
You're talking about from South Africa, the Kalahari?
Yeah. Well, Kalahari and a couple other places. But did you ever see the Gods Must Be Crazy, the movie?
Oh, that's fun.
Okay. That was that was.
Oh, that's a French movie.
I know. Okay. Have it your way. It
is French.
That person is a Kung San person.
Yeah.
So he was the one walking around going, "You guys are all fucked up. You gave us a Coke bottle for free, and it's the best thing. It's the best thing for A, B, C, and D, and you throw it away."
What's the title? The English title? The Gods what?
The Gods
Must Be Crazy.
Okay. In French, it's les dieux sont tombés sur la tête. The gods have bumped their head.
I like that title a little bit more, honestly.
Yeah,
because especially when you learn about the Greek gods.
That's a saying, though, so it's difficult to translate. It's a good translation.
Honestly, some of the stories of their mythologists, of their pantheons, those are much more interesting stories, as it were. This Abraham and God, just like
I don't know. The Christian mythology is whacked.
Yeah, well, it is. So, but there's only one big God that like it's a but
it's not really the God.
True.
The people in the mythology. I mean, Lot and what's his name? The guy who wanted to kill his son.
Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
And
he didn't want to, but he had to because his God told him to.
I mean, those stories have nothing to envy the Greek mythology. I mean, no one is raping people while transforming in animals and gold showers and stuff like that.
Right, and turn into
spawn.
Yahweh did rape one person that we know of, but he didn't transform into anything to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who, the Christian God, you mean?
Yeah.
I thought he transferred into a dove. Or that was after, wasn't it?
Was after.
He didn't do that. I don't think he turned into a dove.
Gods are crazy.
And
gods are nuts.
I know that. I know
a dove. Imagine a minotaur, but the head isn't a bull, but a dove. That's scary. Well, that looks like an Egyptian god, but.
Yeah, that would look like an Egyptian god. Yeah, I have actually seen like people with like human bodies, but with like mascots that make them look like birds. It was in a really strange movie called My Parents Saved the Universe. That's where.
You there's Stargate too, if you want.
Oh yeah, there's also Stargate too, where it's like it's Jackals, or in the Stargate SJA.
If you want to see a movie where no one pays any respect to Egyptian mythology, watch Stargate.
Yes,
pretty much, yeah.
Don't make me. I love the movie, but it's awful.
Joe!
No!
You
look like a member of Slipknot.
Terrible.
I like Slipknot actually.
I like Slipknot too, but I don't like their aesthetic at all.
I gotta run, guys. But I'll see you guys next Sunday.
Bye, Zaya.
Later, Isaiah.
Congrats again for your degree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, once again.
You're more educated than I am, or more credibly educated than I am.
More credentialed than you are.
Yes.
Can you put my channel's link in the chat if anyone hasn't subscribed yet?
It should be in the description of the video.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but no one reads the description of videos.
Well, yeah, no one
Let's
reads
be
the
honest.
description. But the people, please read the description of the videos. And also, it's totally fine if you cannot join us live for the live streams or for the chats and all. You can go ahead and leave us comments in the script in the comments below when this no longer is live. So that's tell us how you like this conversation or want to join in. That's what we're. But yeah, so Sinister Intelligence is Isaiah Taylor's. Isaiah Taylor's. I thought they said his wrong name or Doxin or something like that. No, by Isaiah Taylor's channel is right there. Sinister Intelligence. So go check him out. Because
I have a new video about how a jet bomber disappeared one time.
That's gonna be interesting. The purge started early this year, I see. Yes, you can blame Joe for that. And his Freddy Krueger sweater, too.
I was saying.
Yeah, I like the sweater. I don't. The mask is scary. But
what do you call it? The mask is part of a costume I'm doing for. A patient called me the mayor of Toyland for some reason. And it struck.
Oh, I just remember
funny.
the Halloween is a thing.
It struck me very funny.
Yeah.
And I put together a Mayor of Toyland costume.
Okay.
Using different what that is used in.
Yeah, I still like your sweater.
And one of them, he is a pig, and I thought that was very funny.
Well,
so
your mask is very scary.
With the
I mean it when I say it. You look like you belong into Slipknot. If you don't listen to metal, I invite you to Google Slipknot and
it's
see.
It's not quite gross enough.
What they look like.
That mask.
Yes.
It pretty much.
I don't know. Corey Taylor's mask isn't gross, but
that doesn't look like a pig, and it's just more black. It's just the figured as the word for the and that sort of thing.
I think your mask is too realistic. That's why it's scary.
Yeah, that's probably it.
It's not cartoony enough, and on a human body, it's you.
It's very realistic.
There was a Doctor Who episode from I think David Tennant, where it's there was pigmen that were the henchmen for the Daleks at that time.
Oh my god! Yes. The rhinoceros men were scary enough.
I always thought that was one of the weaker episodes.
It was actually because it was reviewed by Nash. So that's how I know about that episode. Honestly.
Isn't that the one where he gives the Dalek human hybrids conscious by
letting himself be struck by lightning?
Yeah.
He dry humps a tower, gets struck by lightning. Yeah.
Yes, and that's where the human Dalek hybrid was made. In a very interesting way. That was
we don't have a French term for dry hump.
Frottage.
Do you need one?
You have frottage. That works.
Yes, but yeah, I guess that works.
So we mentioned the Indigenous Peoples Day tomorrow. We mentioned
no more celebrating bitch Columbus, bitch.
Yes, that guy. Yeah, screw that guy. Tabby has mentioned about what's happening in Canada with Indigenous people Coyote Camp. I would just repost the the Twitter post there. So it's so
I mean the situation with Indigenous people in Canada isn't new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a long ongoing thing.
Doesn't mean we don't have to talk about it, but
yeah.
It's definitely still
ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was reading an article that made an excellent point that while 80% of the world's wild spaces are still being caretaken by indigenous people,
without being paid for it,
we need to protect them while they protect those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy.
And so
how little space we actually allow indigenous people to control.
right?
Yeah, or
especially when they were really tending, because it's like California, for example, and all the huge fires that we've had. This is a direct result. You can go stepping back through time and trace it to the moment that colonizers took indigenous people out of nature and started forcing them into, their way of life, which they didn't understand when they got here. The reason everything looked so nice was because humans were tending it all. It was a giant garden.
Mutual disaster relief. I'm going to go ahead and copy and place their website into the chat. I think they mentioned that the indigenous stewards of the land were really what helped either contain or tamp down on the forest fires in the past, but make sure that they don't get out of control and infect people's homes. Because there's correct me if I'm wrong, there is some utility to look. Okay,
sorry, I don't know.
But forest fires are somewhat a natural part of the nature's cycle, as it were. Just and so you just need to know when to control it, so that if people are too close to it, help them move to a new place to be safe, as it were. And that's something. But once the white people come here, as it were, and do the terrible things that we were doing, and we're still doing, like the Enrich Line 3 pipeline is going through indigenous lands places, and so water protectors have been out in forest, just like in Standing Rock, trying to to prevent the Enrich 3 line pipeline going through, and they're been getting they're thrown in jail and then arrested.
Well,
and
duh.
Yeah, it's just
that was a poison indigenous people water than the white people water.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is that a lot of these places are trying to save everybody's water. So
I know
when we were trying to stop DAPL, the biggest reason is because it's also the water source for 18 million Americans, most of which are not indigenous people.
Yep.
So noble of you.
I can find some sites about the tribes that have been trying to push for better land management up in Northern California, Oregon. It's been a while since I've done it, so it's a little haphazard, but one of the sites is this one. They put out some plans more than once, particularly for water. I just poked on the site, there's stuff about water management. If this is the site, I think it is. If not, I have to find another one. I know there are tribes in the area that have done great big publications working with various scientists from the U.S. Forestry, and then showing them shit, and then coming up with these great big reports on, okay, here's how we manage the forest so it doesn't have these massive fires all the time. And a big, huge part of it is they had all these traditions for doing regular controlled burns, and white people won't let them do it anymore.
And we get this massive buildup of undergrowth, and now California's on fire.
Why don't people let them do that? Because we do that in France.
Or at the very least, do it themselves. Then
peasants do that every year because,
I don't care who does it as long as it's done.
Yeah,
exactly. Cuts in people's profits, or it's this American thing, honestly, of just
it threatens our houses.
It's that's effort. We had to do that. We had to actually do actual work. We'll do it later.
No one asked them to do it, but to let other people doing it.
Yes, I think I agree. They should let other people do it.
I mean, imagine if ski stations were forbidden to provoke avalanches. That's the only way to prevent avalanches when people are skiing. It's to provoke them beforehand. That's how it's done.
But how do you?
A question of safety. It's logical.
But how do you thin the herd of the of all these skiers? You have to keep their population in check somehow.
Natural selection eventually will evolve evolution-proof skiers.
Everyone skis.
Unfortunately, Tom, if we do that to skiers, that will also hurt the snowboarders too.
Yeah.
Well,
No, the snowboarders are so radical they can avoid the avalanche. They can just outrun.
I was a skier for a very long time. And
but I mean, I get in the US, people who ski are mostly rich, no?
Well,
depends on how close you live to the mountain.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on whether you're talking
Just
about
like
mountains
here,
I never skied on a mountain, but I skied on a hell of a lot of ski hills around here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you don't need a mountain to ski.
No, you don't.
That's true. I was born in the middle of the Alps, babe. I'm biased.
Yeah, you are one of the people that should have been, killed in an avalanche. When natural avalanches thin the herd, clear out the undergrowth.
Maybe that is like a terrible advantage of these terrible white people living so close to forests, or that they get caught on fire or something like that, or in the path of volcanoes like
For
they did in
real
Hawaii.
though, Tom is right. I would have been, because I didn't live in a city when I was young. I was living on a farm that was on the mountain flank. How do you?
Side of the mountain.
Mountainside?
It was on the mountainside, low in the mountain, but there were several ski stations.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's 70 kilometers from Switzerland. So
you're saying your community was based?
What?
Never
base
mind.
Oh,
He's trying to snow you there. Just
stop insulting the peasants of the Alps. I'm very proud of my peasant upbringing, okay? Even though I still dream of my grandma killing chickens.
That's no way to refer to the Germans. Come on.
My grandpa was the one killing Germans, okay?
That's right. Part of resistance and all.
No, less funny. My grandma was a teenager girl in occupied France. She doesn't like Germans. I'm not going to go into details, but I think her teenage years weren't funny at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I would well imagine. Yeah.
Peasant girls in occupied France. Nope. And her father was an asshole. So.
Oh, well, there's that. That's not going to help matters.
That's why
my grandfather was in the resistance, though.
Okay.
Which is good, because my other grandfather, my father's father, was pro-Mussolini.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you had a fascist and a rebel, huh?
Yeah. My maternal grandfather was awesome, and my paternal grandfather was an asshole.
Little's new film, The Silence of the Chickens.
The Leto story.
I like chickens, but I didn't like seeing my grandma strangle them. It wasn't funny, especially since I was the one
with
who
fava beans.
I fed the chickens. I chose to ignore you, Tom.
That was a good plan. That was a very
I was
good plan.
the one who fed the chickens, so
Did you feed them? Did you feed them
Yes.
fava beans?
No. I fed them anything. The chicken eats anything. Well, mostly corn.
Fava beans.
No,
yeah, they'll
we
eat
don't
their
have
own cooked
fava
eggs.
beans in France. We have to import them. We fed them corn with shit in it. I don't know, little stones for the eggshells to be hard.
Right.
And
All right.
I don't know.
Chickens eat all kinds of literal shit.
Chickens are small pigs. You can give them anything to eat.
And they're kinksters. They'll eat ass.
Yes.
They'll eat their own cooked eggs. Like you can cook eggs and feed it to chickens and they'll eat it.
They'll eat their own raw eggs. They do from time to time, though, when they need it. But farm chicken usually don't, because you give them food They don't need to eat their own eggs to survive. That's an argument vegans use to tell people to not eat eggs.
So no,
But the chickens use their eggs to eat, not if you feed them. So I like having grown up on a farm when I talk to stupid vegans.
Yeah, well,
Because most of them I've never seen a pig in real life. They think pigs are cute.
Some pigs are cute.
some pigs can be cute, but
No. Adult pigs, the one people eat, they are not cute.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
not
I've
cute.
seen those ones. Yeah,
They're also
So I
terrifying.
agree they're highly intelligent.
Yeah, they are terrifying.
But they're mean motherfuckers.
Oh man, especially the ones that are bred for eating.
Yes.
because
Yeah.
they're
They're
always just so
huge.
big.
Yeah,
No, but
by the
also
time they're done
they're
growing,
smart.
they're
They're,
massive.
they're smart and they're mean.
oh yeah. It's,
Like geese. They're geese without a beak.
it's
So
like,
they're not
And a
as,
better brain because they're
Yeah,
smart.
yeah,
they're
that's what
so
they're
smart.
super
Mhm.
smart.
yeah, so if the pigs can just walk on
Chickens
like
are immigrants. Don't remember who brought them in Europe. I think you are confusing with turkeys.
No. Chickens also, I think, were from
Yeah,
Asia.
aren't chickens
from
are
Asia.
from yeah.
Well, they
I was
were
gonna say.
brought very early on then because we've been
Yeah,
breeding chickens in
turkey
France for a long time.
Turkey would have been after the indigenous people's day.
Yeah,
previous name
turkeys
person.
come from America, so
Yes.
Is he
Also-
who must not be named.
Yes.
no, chickens are from dinosaurs. I typed it. I was trying to.
yeah, they remember they were raptors.
Yeah.
I love
also-
chickens, honestly.
Yeah, all y'all's best food comes from our. Yeah, I don't even come from our continent originally.
Well, apart
but
from
all y'all's
Joey,
good
no one
comes
knows.
from comes from Joey's continents. Well,
Territory.
I don't know what. I don't know.
My hemisphere.
Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Yes.
We come from
There
the
you go.
same hemisphere. Stop it.
No, you don't.
That depends on where you're referring to.
We're
The
I'm
north is
talking
southern or the
north-south.
western or eastern?
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Maize,
called an
corn-
hemisphere too? I thought
Yes.
this was only south and north.
No, there's an eastern
No,
hemisphere,
east-
western
there's an east
hemisphere.
and west.
Oh,
If there's
Yeah.
the north and south, that's of course the east and west.
does
Who decides them?
the middle one is Greenwich?
Yes, I think. Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
mean, basically, the eastern hemisphere is the Americas. The western hemisphere. No, wait. Western hemisphere is the America. Eastern hemisphere is
everyone else. Yes.
Oh, so it's in the middle of the Atlantic then.
No, it's just New World,
middle.
Old World. That's all.
Yeah, it really is that.
Because there's no actual dividing line for east and west the way there is for north and south.
I mean, there's the international date line for just our time zones, and there's
Which is just the other side of the earth from Greenwich.
That's
yeah.
why.
Yes, exactly.
That's why I was wondering if it was the Greenwich one because it's the 0 for the time for the time zones.
I think it is.
But I don't think it is for the Western and Eastern Hemisphere because
Well, it's
all
for
of Western
longitude.
Europe is east of that line.
It is.
Yeah, it's longitude, but I don't think the hemisphere's designation comes from that
No.
because otherwise half of
Well, that's not
England would be in-
logical, and I don't like it.
It's
Of course not.
so-
It's
so-
empire.
Also,
so-
Australia is in the South Hemisphere and technically in the East, so
Yes.
that's not geographically correct.
but they're also a part. Also, Australia and New Zealand are kind of part of the global north too. Just the same fight, like they're part of
Yes,
the
it's
west.
stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all arbitrary anyway. Yeah.
That's just colonizers and colonized.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
We should refer to territories like that.
honestly, yeah, we should. The
Well,
colonizers and the colonized.
there's so many areas that are both that it becomes tricky.
Well, they're
True.
both because the colonizers came there,
Yes, to Australia and New Zealand.
like
yes.
Australia.
and the indigenous
US too.
people. The US too.
But they're not really both because the indigenous people don't have power.
unfortunately, in Australia, yeah.
It's not like ex-colonized African countries who are, yes, being fucked over by European countries, mostly mine.
Yeah.
That are now
don't
free,
give Mithril
quote unquote. That at least they have autonomy from us. Well,
yes, finally.
Yeah,
well,
but
except
in
for the debt.
Australia, New Zealand, Canada, US, you can say they are colonized countries. They are colonizers countries because the colonizers are in power.
Yeah.
So it'd be countries of colonizers and countries that have not yet colonized.
Or have been free from colonization. Almost all of Africa has gone through decolonization.
Yes, they have.
It's 2 years of my history lessons in the school. Okay, it's awful. Decolonization is awful. It's so long. And we colonized so many shit. There's so much shit to learn. I hate it.
Of course, decolonization just meant we transitioned into a new neoliberal hegemonic empire.
I know, but at least the people that are from this country are the one in power there. At least.
So the biggest
mean they're not still paying debt for that decolonization. It's
So the biggest problem with French colonization is that you had to learn about it.
You had what?
It would have been better for you if France hadn't colonized all those places because it made your school life easier.
Yes.
All right. That's the very best. Very best.
I'm sorry, that's a very pragmatic reason that should.
I agree with it fully. I agree with it fully.
People who are the most reluctant to the other actually valuable reasons.
Yeah, I mean, France could have done the opposite way, like America and the UK, just not really teach the history of colonization.
Just don't talk about it.
Colonization, putting stuff up someone's colon. No, because doing that can be some enjoyable.
Hello, Phoenix. What a time for you to enter in.
Hi, Phoenix. Hi, Phoenix. You just arrived when David is talking about sodomy. I'm sure you are very happy.
But now, Phoenix, you show up the right time to tell David to go sit in the corner.
It's only colonization if there's no consent.
Yes.
Yes. So it's not just putting stuff up someone's colon. A lot of people like that. Colonization? No. That's not a good one, David. It was funny, but that's not a good one.
Go into the people who like that, but I don't think that this YouTube channel has that rating, and I don't.
No. I can show you my dildos if you want, but
I've shown off my sex toys on like YouTube before.
Yeah,
as well.
but it was on Christy's
Oh wait, you can do
channel.
that on YouTube?
Well, I done it, and I don't know if like it was on Christy Winter's channel.
And Dennis Riley did a thing. Dennis Riley.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
she
not going
reviewed
to
a lot
use
of sex toys
them.
for a
I
while
can
there.
show you them if you want, but I'm
There's
not
also,
going to.
There's also the
them.
channel Sexplanations. I don't know what their rating is for that channel too, but that's a YouTube channel as well. Maybe it's like it is restricted for like people over 18, unfortunately, because that's sexual education. I think that's important, as it were, especially showing like people where the clitoris is. That's very important for like cis men to know that.
No, honestly, they know where it is. They just couldn't be asked to do something about it.
Oh yeah, there's definitely
honest.
that.
It's in the back of the throat. Linda Lovelace taught us that.
Men don't know where the clitoris is. Yes, they know. They just don't
care.
Want to put an effort in it.
For some of them, it's the smell, and that's just a terrible reason not to like give.
That's
your
a lie.
Pleasure.
Cis men smell just as bad sometimes.
It's
not necessarily a bad smell too. I mean. And no one forces you to put your nose in it. You have fingers.
Depends on who you're with. I think it's.
I mean, if you're not comfortable with something, don't do it. But I mean, if you don't want to pleasure your partner, maybe you shouldn't have sex with them.
That's a good point.
No, I don't think we can call what a lot of guys do sex.
No.
Or pleasuring a partner.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They want to have sex, but they don't want to pleasure their partner. So maybe.
Yeah, and
I don't
there's a
understand.
difference there.
Get a doll,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
A dog?
A doll.
Doll. Oh God. I was going to say things to Julie that were not kind.
I feel like maybe I should just deny I was ever on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's probably just how many times now have I come on and said something awful that just because I can't hear very well?
Pretty much every time, Tom.
Yeah, but that's part of the fun.
Yes!
Like,
Well, not for
I
everybody.
don't know.
Some people.
Zoophilia is not fun. No.
Cat. There's a cat. The joke has a cat.
Oh my God. That wasn't the right
cat.
moment to talk about a cat.
Oh.
Doll?
I had a bunch of thoughts. Now they're all gone because people started talking about.
No, doll. I said doll. DOLL.
Change the topic then, I guess. What did you all do when Facebook was down for 6 hours on Monday?
I didn't
Never even noticed.
know
No, I
don't
was on
check
Facebook a couple weeks back.
No.
Hey,
I have to admit, Facebook has become so useless that I almost never bother with it because no one sees my posts and it's like I don't see anyone else's post either. All I see is commercials for shit.
You
Like-
have to download the extension FB Purity. It removes all advertising on
yeah, I
Facebook.
probably should do that.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
does it also put things
And you can force-
in chronological order, because that is also a big problem.
Yes. Yeah, the chronological order is a problem. I mean, I use FB Purity to remove advertising and to force friends feed. So
Yeah.
I mostly see everything.
Mhm.
Thing is, I have
checked
too
to
many
see if it was
friends,
back.
and I have trouble
Yeah,
following everything.
Yeah.
Mood.
Yeah.
I think you could cut me out and you'd save a friend.
No,
No,
I
Well,
love
the-
you. I'm not doing that.
No, I
Stop
understand
it.
that. I understand that, but I would not make such stupid hearing mistakes if you just cut me out of your life. Your life would be so much better.
No,
that's
no,
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 it
Tom.
wouldn't.
Tom,
Don't
you're
say
Yeah.
that.
No.
You still have access to the Zoom call link, and you can join the Zoom call link at any time, knowing that
You
it's
are
available. when
amazing,
it's on show.
Tom. Stop it.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, I've been. This has been a rough couple months for me, so I do
Yeah, I
appreciate
know.
people
Well,
saying
we
nice things,
love
but
you.
I
Also,
appreciate
I wanted
that.
to tell you, I really appreciate your postcards. I'm really not doing good either for
Yeah,
these days mentally. So every time I get a postcard from you, it makes me happy. Okay.
good. Well, you should be getting one fairly
Except-
soon.
Except just one. Look at what the post office did to that one. Wait,
no.
I'm looking in my purse.
Do you have a post office, or you're trying to get rid of
Look
ours?
at what they did. They stuck something
Oh no!
on the postcards.
So
And it doesn't peel off easily.
This is no, it's there's the little
the bars.
orange
Oh, the
bars
scan.
here, and
Yeah.
it's stuck. If I try to unstuck it, it's going to fuck up the postcard.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
well,
sucks.
yeah, and,
So,
and
so
that,
if
that,
you want
that particular
to send,
that
so if you
particular
want
kind
to
of
send Emmy neither again, I wouldn't be against it. Oh no, it peels.
Does it
Oh
peel off?
God, I'm a moron. Look.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's probably just as well. Although you may
That
get one.
Awesome.
You
I
may get
love
a
it,
spare
Tom.
anyway because I think the pack that I got has 4 of each different kind.
Oh.
There's a pack. It's 100, so there's like 25
I'm
before
okay
it
with
repeats.
spares though, so I can use some for my cardboard stuff.
Yeah, whatever.
Because those one I want to keep for my wall. because I really the whole collection is look, babes. The collection Tom is sending me these days. It's all women scientists.
Awesome.
And there's little facts about what they do, and the art is so cute.
Yeah, one of them is actually a woman named I can't remember her first name, last name Bascom.
Yes.
Okay, but she.
Do I have that one?
I sent that quite a long time ago, but she is the daughter of the person after whom the main building in on the University of Wisconsin campus is named. So, and she's one of the first.
Look how many there are.
That's cool.
So
wow, that's a lot of money.
Yes, you saved it. You single-handedly saved the American post office.
I'm apparently so. I hadn't realized there's that much. Holy moly! And the overseas stamps.
Florence Bascom, Tom?
I don't remember her first name. Laura Bascom.
Robin.
Florence.
Baskin.
Florence.
Florence.
Okay, yeah, okay. She was one of the first female graduates of the university of what was she in? Genetics, engineering? No, not genetics. Geology.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of those women were in the geology and
I love them
genetics and things like that.
On all those cards you sent me, I know only two, Marie Curie and Ada Lovelace. It's the only two I know. Marie Curie because she's French and famous, and Ada Lovelace because I'm a nerd. But apart from that, I don't know the other women, and I really love those postcards.
Okay, well, you're getting another one in a little bit. As soon as I send it, it's almost ready to go, and that will be somebody that you may have heard of for a tragic reason, but not related to her. Not related to her. To her life anyway. It's related. She'll find out. Maybe she'll tell you later. Anyway, point being,
Ada Lovelace is the daughter of Lord Byron.
Oh, really?
Yes, I didn't know that. And it's very cool.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I am probably going to be going pretty quick here. I was just thought I'd pop in, say hi, and
defend white people.
And defend white people, embarrass the hell out of myself, misunderstand
I'm not going to
things.
stay long either.
Yeah, I had lunch with my son today.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good.
I had lunch with my son today. That's the first time I've seen him in 3 months.
Nice.
And that was part of the reason I was feeling down. So that's
Do you still have restriction because of COVID?
We should have more than we do.
Yes.
Oh, so
it's not the reason
you haven't seen him.
No. It's just that my car doesn't. I don't trust my car to drive to see him in the cities. And he has
your injections too. You were limited or not? Your surgery.
No, it's about my car. It's all about my car. No, the injection is fine. The injection was just, that was bleh. That was nothing.
Yeah, but that's painful. I had steroid injection when I was diagnosed, and it's not fun, especially when they do that in your hips.
Yeah, mine wasn't bad. It was well, you take a long needle with somebody you don't really know next to all kinds of important bits.
Where did you inject? In your pubis?
Well, no, on the outside of my hip, but it's like I don't know you.
That's the way Tom puts it.
On the back or the side?
On the side, right on the side.
Okay.
But I don't know to trust him.
Yeah, the person should at least buy you a drink.
No, I asked you to know where it injected. So in the iliac joint.
Okay, in the side of the hip.
Yeah.
So
mine was in the sacroiliac. It's not fun.
Oh, okay.
The sacroiliac, for those who don't know, is the joint that join your sacrum, which is the bone in above your butt, the big bone above your butt, and that join with the femurs. So they are inside your butt, basically.
So
Very
it's in your
So-
butt.
In
my
your butt.
So the needle is long like that.
Mhm.
It's like 4 inches.
Mm.
And it's pretty big because you don't want it to break.
Yeah, yeah.
And because it goes inside a joint. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
That's not fun. I
No.
have had 3 times, and honestly, I'd rather take cortisone even if it has more side effects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never again. I'm getting injections of steroids in my joints. It could be worth it, but it's not. Honestly.
Yes,
so-
no, yes, David. No colonization. No.
No,
No, David.
No.
I'd
that's
rather
next
have
year.
a colonization in that case.
I remember I got
Yeah.
a bunch of injections into
I
my
have a colonization every 3 years
I
now.
forget what it was, and it didn't really help.
Mm-hmm.
For
Good.
the pain, do you have arthritis?
Nope, but my spine is all messed up. But apparently, that no longer really shows up that well on X-rays. so
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
why would they make injections for something that doesn't have inflammation? It's bizarre.
I don't know specifically anymore.
Yeah, sometimes they're just
Yeah,
assholes with
Lido,
treatments.
it's like it's a several year story in my memories.
Yeah, I know. You told me a bit about it.
My spine has a bunch of issues with it, or at least it did. So I just recently got new X-rays, and the doctor's like, "Oh, you just have slight scoliosis," and I'm going, "I know there's more."
Well, scoliosis should be treated. I hate it when they do that.
There's
You
nothing to
have a
treat.
slight something. Well, treat it for fuck's sake.
With
They're
what?
like, it's not a big deal.
I mean, I take NSAIDs and I take a drug that's specifically for fibromyalgia.
Yeah,
but I don't have
NSAIDs
the,
are not very effective, apart from giving you stomach ache.
But well, I mean, it's more effective than when I was taking the morphine.
Oh, sure.
Mhm.
No, don't worry, Jordan P. Don't worry for being super late. You mentioned yesterday that you were busy.
I have
for
NSAIDs
Sister's
too. I take that ketoprofen,
Mm.
but I
Mine
try
is
not to take too much because, again, side effects.
I unfortunately have to take an NSAID every single day, or I cannot function.
Really? Oh my God,
Mhm.
your poor
Oh.
stomach. Oh, poor babe.
Yeah, I can't take NSAIDs anymore because I had
Yeah,
stomach
it
surgery
killed your
too.
belly.
Well, I had surgery, stomach surgery, and they said if I take NSAIDs, it'll make it very, very bad.
Yeah.
And I tried it once, and they were right. So I
Oh.
think
Yeah.
sometimes doctors know what they're talking about.
Yes,
and
sometimes they do.
Sometimes I do. Yes.
sometimes they do. And
Have you tried
I mean,
ivermectin
it's-
instead?
It's not the issue. It's just fibromyalgia isn't something that is researched because
Yeah,
85% of patients are women, and
yeah,
let's
who
be
cares?
honest, medicine doesn't give a shit about women.
Yep.
Yeah.
We still don't have a standard treatment for endometriosis, for fuck's sake.
And Phoenix was telling there's kind of like stories that like their drones messed up, especially the right knee. But like they hear you're too young for a walker.
Yeah, go see another orthopedist.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I saw 5 rheumatologists before finding one who prescribed me treatment and said it's fibromyalgia and
Mm.
mild arthritis, probably psoriatic arthritis because I have psoriasis. So you need to be treated with that, and that.
Mm.
6 years, 5 rheumatologists. And 6 years is not a long time. Fibromyalgia, usually patients have to wait for about 10 years before having a diagnosis
Mm.
and treatment. It's ridiculous.
Mm.
And in a lot of countries, it's barely recognized. I don't have a right to a pension because of fibromyalgia. The
Mm.
little bit I get is because of the arthritis and the depression.
Mhm.
But it's not my main issue. My main issue is when I take a shower, I feel like 1,000 knives are stabbing me, and I can't work like in those conditions
Mm.
when I feel like the air is burning my skin, or It's not always, but it's often enough to not be able to function normally.
Yep.
But apparently it's too complicated to understand for them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm seeing social workers these days well, the first I see is on Thursday to help me with my debts. Hopefully they will give me money.
Oh, good luck with that. I hope that works out.
Really need help on that front. But I'm seeing someone who is going to send me to a formation. I don't know how to learn new skills. And I hope they'll be able to finance a web design one. I'd like to learn that so I can work from home.
Yeah.
Because obviously I can't do sewing anymore. Especially since my my background is in theater costumes. I can't. That life is too hard. I can't do that while physically in pain, and it's not possible. I still can sew a little, but theater costumes is not. You won't work for a few weeks, and then for 3 days you're going to work for 16 hours a day. You have to be. Honestly, I loved it, but I don't have the health anymore to do that.
I mean, it's like the way it is with me. It's like they keep, oh, you should be able to adapt to some kind of job. Like, yeah, and then I'll be able basically to show up for a few weeks, and then I'll be dead for a few months.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what happens with my Twitch channel that's been getting ignored. Is I'll go at it for a few weeks, and I'll be like, all right, I'm on it. We're gonna do this. And then I'm dead. And
if you can't, you can't. You can't magically not be in pain because people think you should be. That's not how it works.
I mean, heck, it's like I was explaining this thing to the doctor I was seeing earlier. I will go through a thing like, yeah, sure, when I'm sitting down and I'm having a conversation with you, I'm not necessarily aware of how much pain I'm in because I'm not focusing on it.
Also, you're used to it. It's very difficult to rate pain when you're used to it.
But when I go to try to sleep,
sleep.
That is the worst time because I can't. I'm not using focusing my mind somewhere else, and then it's like I go to sleep, and eventually the reason why I finally fall asleep is because there gets to be this medium between the pain and the exhaustion to where I just
same. These days I fall asleep at 6 in the morning because I'm exhausted. And I sleep 4 or 5 hours of mediocre sleep because I'm in pain. And I do like that for a few days. And finally there's going to be a day where I sleep for 16 hours because I'm just too tired. I can't feel my body anymore.
Would like to propose a rule, and it's not a rule that will ever happen because fuck the way societies are ordered. Abled people should not be able to sit on any kind of decision-making body deciding whether or not disabled people get benefits.
I agree.
I'll vote for that.
Exactly.
But I'll also put a caveat on that. It needs to be not majority white. It needs to be culturally sensitive because if you get a whole panel of white disabled people, they're gonna treat
white disabled
everybody else like shit.
Black people tolerate pain better, as I understand it.
Oh.
No. I'm actually what I'm saying is that's actually a thought over here.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
White people actually, white doctors even,
it's in the
pain meds.
Medical texts.
It is.
Yeah.
And it goes back it goes right the straight fuck back to slavery. That's where the whole black people just don't experience pain the same way we do. That is where that comes from.
Yeah.
But even in Europe, it's actually the same thing because I have an acquaintance who's from Kenya and living in Sweden, and when she had her last child, something went wrong during the birth, and they wouldn't give her painkillers, and they refused to take her pain seriously, and I know part of the problem is that she's a woman, but a bigger problem is that she's black.
Yeah. In Europe, I think I saw the statistics. I think it's France and Europe. Well, the proportions of of women of color, black and North African, so brown, let's say brown, of brown women who die during childbirth compared to white women is off the charts because they're not taken seriously when there's a problem. Women are, in general, even white women are treated like shit by doctors. Let's be straight here. But as always, women of color, it's worse for them.
Yeah,
there's no argument here. But also on those panels, it should be diverse also in terms of handicap, of disability.
Yes.
Because someone who has chronic pain can't understand what someone who is, I don't know, blind.
And if you just leave it
just going through and
generalized disabled and say that's your target demographic, the amount of the variety of disabilities out there in the world makes it so that if you're going to make a panel like that, you have to include that variety as well.
Yes. Yeah. So there's always at least one or two people who know what is talked about,
right?
Who have lived it, because like Tavi and I both have fibromyalgia, and obviously we don't have the same lives, but have you seen her reaction when I talked about the shower that felt like knives?
I mean, she nodded enthusiastically. And I'm mostly okay now, but notice I'm not as talkative today as I am other days.
And I will say,
you have a bad pain day?
I'm relatively okay. It's like I needed to shower because it's like my skin gets to the point it's itching.
Yeah. I took a bath today because the shower was too much.
And like I will follow up what I said with, okay, I was saying my whole thing of I don't want able people to be able to make decisions about disabled people receiving benefits is I am facing I'm facing down this thing where I've got this hearing coming up in November that I have to see a judge, and I may not actually see the judge because it's gonna be over the phone. Because COVID. I don't know if they're going to have the video call thing set up or not.
Maybe one day they'll learn to use internet.
They suck at it.
We are almost in 2022. It's amazing.
And like Lito's dealing with this. Phoenix is dealing with this. Phoenix is just being in chat is just being outright denied completely. I've been able to get onto benefits that took me 4 years. Again. White fucking privilege here.
I've been denied already twice.
Can I say something about the conditions in my country where 50% of all cases involving children, the decision that's being made is faulty and not legal. So that means that and those cases aren't the cases that get appealed. It's all cases. That is a lot. That was something that shocked me, but it might not shock the rest of you but it's just, I don't want my country to head the same sort of way where no one gets anything without
So I was going to follow that up with mostly I'm saying able people shouldn't be able to make these decisions is the way it is now. It's because, there are people who are abled with power who get to have power over disabled people. Ultimately, people just shouldn't have power over each other.
I agree. Yes.
Exactly.
So I mean, even the idea of
Mylene is back. I'm going.
Okay, she's going to the mute.
Ultimately, like even the idea of having a panel of disabled people decide who gets benefit, there shouldn't be anybody disabled or otherwise deciding who gets to be helped or not.
Yeah, exactly.
That just shouldn't be a thing.
Or at very least, the burden should be on the other end, where it would be people who would have to prove that somebody is taking advantage of the system, as opposed to you have to prove that you are not taking advantage of this.
Legally, on paper, That's what it claims it is.
Yeah.
Well,
On paper, I am told that, oh, well, they have to prove that you're not disabled, but they can just say anything they want is proof that I'm not disabled.
Yeah. In my country, it comes down
You're applying
to
for
money.
benefits. That proves that you're capable of applying for benefits. That means you're not disabled.
Pretty much.
Ellie, you were about to say?
No, in my country, it's gone from people saying, "Oh no, it's an individual decision," but now the local governments that say, "Oh, but it's because the like big over the they're like central government and like local government, and those are kind of shifting the blame between each other." Yeah, so that's actually a huge problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the another thing to definitely agree that like no one should have like power over like others, but like if we have to have this kind of like panels right now where there's power to given to other people, I do agree that like the diversity amongst the people who are disabled have various different like disabilities, because like Lynn P in the chat, she has because of her autism, and she's talked about this before on her channel or Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Lynn_Woo. It's W instead of like WOO. She feels very awkward when she goes to like new places. She has to be acclimated to these places in order to get used to it, and then to finally feel comfortable. So job interviews are just out of the gate for like her. It's just like she doesn't do well in those job interviews, and yet how often you do have to like just show up to a stranger and this new person that you never met before, be candid with them, talk to them. And hello, welcome back, Leto. And talked about your past work experiences, have a conversation, be cordial, something like that. And understandably, that's just a weird experience when you think about it anyway. And this person is going to determine your like future employment possibilities here at this
heck, Jonathan, you remember what happened with my last hearing? The hearing
What
officer
are you
said
calling
about my work history.
What are you talking about?
Various different things like disability and that's.
Oh, you're still talking about that? Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Remember the hearing officer who did my previous, because like the previous step was I got to a hearing officer and she did a whole phone thing with me. She claimed that it couldn't be determined whether or not I could go back to any of my previous work because I didn't have any previous work.
Oh, I have that issue too.
I was security officer between 2005 and 2014.
Oh, so for a long time.
So yeah, like there was work I was doing, and this
is it because you're transitioned? You think that
no, but she did try to. She did pull the whole because I have to list all my medications. She's like, oh, but it could be because you're taking these hormones because those be causing you to be depressed.
No, that's well, yes and no.
That was what the hearing officer tried to pull.
That's a shitty
and then
she
and then after I explained, hey, this is my name, these are my pronouns, do you think she respected that ever again?
No, because these people, when they know, it's like they forget the ability to say the word. It's amazing. I don't get it. I'm cis. I don't understand transness because I'm not, and so I can possibly understand, but I understand the difference between she and he. That's why is it so complicated for them? Why?
Because bigotry.
Yes, but why?
It's like, oh, but there's all these other disabled people who their only disability is they're trans, and I'm going, what? That is what the officer. I don't know. It's just what.
No, I know being trans is probably putting even more shit into the procedure. I'm not living it, but I'm seeing Mylene go through it, and that's honestly that's bullshit. She's very tall, so she honestly she will never pass for a cis woman.
But that
and,
shouldn't
and
matter.
yes, she's beautiful just the way she is. She shouldn't have to. And I
Casting
don't
culture is
know.
bullshit, and I hate it.
Transness is like, well, race in that case. I think. Well, maybe not in the US. Race is so fucked up there.
I have friends who are just tall cis women.
No, I know.
Who
Yeah,
are
I know.
now.
So-
No, what I'm saying is they are now getting shit.
Yes. Yes.
As if they were trans
I get
women.
shit. I get shit because my jaw is square.
I mean,
That
that's
is
part
so-
People think I'm a man
androgynous, but
because my jaw is square. Okay, I don't have very feminine face. I know, and I know I have a Y chromosome, but it's inactive.
Feminine face look like?
I don't know. That's you know, something
Right?
with less
pink, I
bone
think,
and
is how it
less
works.
nose, and
But
you know, manga girl.
but what
That's what we're supposed to look like. Manga girls.
what is so fucked up is that a lot of trans folks and especially TERFs, it's like they look the exact same
Yes,
way
Phoenix.
as the women. They are disparaging for not looking like women. So, sometimes they kind of like I sometimes wonder if it's sort of like, I know it's bigotry, but I'm sort of wondering if it's a feeling of their femininity has been
Oh
pulled
yes,
into
I think there's a lot of that.
into Christians sometimes, and
It's not only Christians. I have seen that. I observed that TERFs they manifest a lot of internal misogyny.
Yeah.
The arguments are, I mean, I saw someone say Emily Deschanel, the woman who plays Bones, the show. Do you see her? What kind of face she has? She has a very square jaw, but honestly, she's super. She has a super feminine face. I mean, she has a little nose, pretty eyes. Well, everything you think of when you think femininity. And some TERFs said she was a man because her jaw is too wide. And you're like, what? Women don't have jaws now?
Apparently.
Okay.
But even like, Tom, you were about to say?
Yeah, that reached my level of holy fuck, this can't go on. And I have to fuck off. I will probably not. I won't be around next week because I'm actually going to be visiting a friend. No. 1, 2, 3 or more other friends.
Cool.
In about 150 miles away from here. So it'll be the first trip out of the area I'll have taken since a long time.
Are you going to see Christy and Company?
Who?
Christy Winters.
Oh no!
Not internet friends.
No, friends.
Okay.
Actual human beings.
Yes. Okay, I had a fight with Christy, but she's an actual human being, and she's your friend.
not the picture people, the actual folks. At least I believe they were human the last time I saw them, not pictures. And so I'm going to be driving down with a friend, and I'm not sure which friend it is at this point, but I'm going to be driving down with a friend from 40 years ago in college, and we've kept in touch. And like I say, there's 2 possibilities, and both of them are wonderful. So
that's very cool. I'm very happy for you, Tom.
Great time to drive down there. If
40 years. Imagine being friends with someone for 40 years. That's very cool.
For 40 years. Yeah, and especially
shut up, John.
me.
Tom is
That's
awesome.
amazing. That's amazing that anybody would put up with me for 40 years. My son almost has to, and he's going to be 40. He's going to be 46 next week from this
really. I
Wednesday.
thought your son was the same age as me, but he's a little older.
Oh yeah, you're a tiny baby.
He was born in 75.
75. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm fucking off. And
Yes.
you all of you can at the same time fuck off if you choose.
I'm very happy to see you and your Pratchett beard.
Yes,
Tom.
I got it. I should. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. The last thing.
You don't need, honestly, you don't need the hat to look like him.
I know, but I want to go out on a.
I
on a high
missed
note.
that beard.
Tom, are you getting ready to open up a park full of a bunch of dinosaurs you cloned out of?
Oh, that's true. He resembles that guy
and some
too.
amber, because you look like you do look the part right now.
Spare no expense.
That's true.
Fuck off, everybody. See you later.
Later,
Tom.
Bye,
Tom.
bye.
Bye.
I still see Pratchett, but I see the guy you say too.
The scientist from like Jurassic Park. Yeah.
Yep, I forget the character's name.
Hammond.
Me too.
John Hammond.
Well, I think it had partially to do with.
I
Oh my
haven't read
God,
that book
John,
in years.
today.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that memory?
I don't know why I remember.
Wow, I'm impressed.
It.
Well, Joe
one
watched a lot of
remembers-
movies.
Even the name of Sam Neill's character, no one knows what's
Grant.
his name.
Grant.
Everyone calls him Sam
Alan
Neill
Grant.
Yeah.
because Sam Neill is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Now, Mithro, I did see the video that you posted in the video chat during our conversation about disability, because that also happened in the UK. Reese Mogg, that fucker of a politician,
Video chat? Where? What?
earlier in the YouTube chats.
Oh, not in the video chat.
In the video chat.
YouTube chat. Okay.
YouTube chat. So Mithro posted a video of Reese Mogg, that terrible politician that fell asleep during important meetings in
David
Parliament.
Attenborough, David.
The Reese
And
Mogg was
when that man is going to die, I'm going to cry so badly.
Reese Mogg was confronted by a disabled campaigner at the Tory conferences Reese Mogg said to this guy's face, and you can clearly see that he has cerebral palsy, but he did have a job and he did love the work that he was doing. He was a social worker, and Reese Mogg said, "How about you get a job? How about you try to get a job?" It's like, and the person is saying, "I had a job. I was a social worker. You cut the social programs. You fired me."
Oh God!
I would just have slugged him in the face.
Reese Mogg's the MP from the 18th century. He needs a powder wig then as well. That will fit the.
Oh, Reese Mogg. I know that name.
Yeah, he fell asleep in the Parliament during important.
Did you make a typo, or did his parents forgot the E at the end of
His
the
parents
E?
That's how
forgot
it's
the E.
spelled. That's how it's spelled. The parents.
He looks like the embodiment of British white guy.
I think
he
it
looks
might
like
be
Richard
an
Dawkins
autistic
sounds.
thing, but
Yes.
people write their name with a typo in it. It's really, I hate it.
Yes. There's so many reasons I hate Reese Mogg, but it's just like
it's rubbing me the wrong way.
Yeah, because I didn't see the video, but I heard the audio that was played on Navarro Media, and it's just like, oh my God, it's just like so much ableism, as it were. And that's the guy that wants to work and has the read to do good work as a worker, but he was let go and can't, and tried to get onto benefits.
Most people want to work.
Yeah,
most people want to contribute to their communities.
Even I want to work.
Something productive.
It's just the work I want to do. No one wants to give me money for it.
I mean,
exactly.
I would seriously go like what I've told Kitten a few times is like with what I can handle in a day, I could go actually, work a desk at a library. Here's the problem. I can't fucking get in and out of my library because there's these big ass stairs up front, downstairs.
God.
You got to go walk all the way.
I haven't voted for a few years because the voting polling place where I lived wasn't disabled accessible. Well, also I'm voting for a party that makes like 0.15% because I'm voting for the Trotskyists. They're the only commies, okay?
you at least got a communist party that you can vote for. If I want to vote for the communist parties, I'm not sure if I want to vote for the communist parties of USA, honestly, but I have to like write in the communist parties. There's some socialist candidates that just again get very, very.
You mean Democrats? The Democrats are totally socialist communists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your country's politics is so weird from Europe, right, Ellie?
Yeah, it's American politics or Danish politics.
Well, you live in a monarchy, yes?
Yes, I live in a monarchy, but we vote for our prime minister like they do.
Oh, okay, like in England.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's
one guillotines.
I mean, we probably should at some point because it's a lot of money going into
royal families are. That's funny how much money they cost in all the countries where they are useless. I mean, I don't know if they are useless in Denmark though.
They're not that bad when it comes to monarchs, but they're still not. There's still a huge sink on. I don't like them.
But you're an anarchist, so of course you don't like them.
Yeah, but it's like, but we vote for our prime minister, but it's like in my country we at least have a party that's pretty is pretty far to the left and actually not without influence. So I'm
we have one too. It will never. The guy will never be elected president because no one likes him and it doesn't want to put someone else at the head of the party. But we have a left, an actual anti-capitalist party.
Yeah, but our anti-capitalist party is they have this cool way of rotating power, so they don't have one head of the party all the time.
David says Denmark pays for all the queen's cigarettes.
Yeah,
she smokes a lot.
Yeah, she smokes so much it's like a chimney. It's the running joke.
She's not a classic queen then, she's a cool queen.
No, but
Ayn Rand smoked. Ayn Rand wasn't cool.
Yeah,
I'm joking. I stopped smoking 4 years ago.
It's like it isn't really not. It's not the cool kind of smoking. It's
I know.
It's the one smoke and then you light the other with.
Oh really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, at least she's going to.
So literal chain smoking.
No, but she's like 80. So
really.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's not fair.
At that point, if you're 80, just like do whatever you want. If you live long enough at that point.
No, I mean there's a lot of people who stop smoking for their health and who died young.
Yeah.
And the bitch is 80 and she smoked cigarette after cigarette and she's still here. That's so not fair. Aristocrats have everything.
Yeah, but it's like why did Prince Philip in the United Kingdom live for as long as he did?
He's made the deal with the devil. He was the sister.
Oh, the ugly guy who died not so long
Prince
ago, right?
Yeah.
Really don't pay attention
you're
to
saying
those things,
he
but...
pulled a Dr. Faustus.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's capitalism. Rich people just get to live longer because they have all the medicine.
Yeah.
They've. No, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. They probably found a way to inject him with formaldehyde and still keep him alive for a little bit longer or something.
He kind of looked like that towards the end of his life.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, my grandma died when she was well in her 80s, like 88, but she didn't look like she was dead. That dude looked like he was dead. It was scary.
He looked like Mitch McConnell.
Poor guy.
Mitch McConnell. Yeah, another person made a deal with the devil. Another person made a deal with the devil.
No, I was talking about the guy who looks like Mitch McConnell.
My maternal grandmother passed when she was 85, and she looked exactly like pictures of her when she was like 62.
Yeah, my grandma too. Was she fat?
Not really.
No, you know why? Because when you're fat, you don't have as much creases, and you look younger when you're old.
She had a bit of weight, but she wasn't really fat, especially towards the end. But yeah,
I lost 10 kilos.
It's a good
kilograms.
To keep eating.
Joe, don't start with drugs. and I don't know if it shows. I think it shows on my face. I lost a lot of growth, and I'm starting to see creases on my eyes that I didn't have when I was 10 kilograms fatter. It's funny. Look, it shows. I've lost 10 kilos, and look at I have only one chin.
I don't know if my double chin does show up because I got the beard and covering it.
Yeah, don't you dare shaving it again. You look good with a beard.
Thank you.
You have a face for a beard.
Yeah, I do.
And you're saying you need to hide your face.
Shut up. You too, John, by the way.
Thank you.
I can't.
Don't you dare shaving that thing.
It refuses to beard.
Yeah. My uncle's the same.
This is all I can do.
Well, you have a baby face, Joe, so don't be mad because you will never look old.
Yeah, and Bob says he's the broadcaster, sports broadcaster for NBC, and he did so well in the interview, but he was asked, "But you look so young. How much older would you look with a beard?" He was said 5 years older. Really? Yeah. He said, yeah, because that's how long it will take for me to grow one.
Oh, David says I look exactly like I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut up.
I don't look exactly like I looked yesterday because in my bath I used the thing for with the little grain in it to for dead skin. And my face is fucking glowing today, and my skin is amazing. And yesterday it was a disaster, a crusty disaster. I don't look anything like yesterday.
So about 10 years back, I had a case of Bell's palsy, and
what?
Bell's
palsy paralyzes half your face.
Half of my face is paralyzed.
Oh shit!
And for the entire 2 months that I had it, I didn't shave at all. Not because I was worried I'd cut myself, just because I wanted to cover up as much as my face as humanly possible during that time, because it looked fucking weird.
Yeah, it was weird. Yes.
And
it looked like not your face.
This bit here, I still look like a 16-year-old that's just first growing in facial hair, even after 2 months of just nothing.
Also, you have a nice round face, so you're going to look young for a long time. You're not going to get creases. How old are you, by the way, Joe?
41.
Oh God, you're almost same age as me. You look.
I know that's what I'm told.
5 years younger than me.
This is one of the few places I go where I'm not the oldest person in the room, and it's great.
Yes.
I have a sister that is legitimate 3 years younger than me, and everyone thinks I'm younger, and she hates it.
Yeah.
I have been waiting my whole life to be the oldest person in the room. Like you don't even know. When I was a kid, everybody just figured I didn't know shit. And it just really irked me because people didn't listen to my opinions because I was a kid.
Oh my God.
And it really got under my skin.
I was a precocious kid, so everyone listened to me but didn't give a shit.
I can imagine.
See, I had parents who would ask for my opinion, but then they wouldn't listen to my opinion.
Yes,
and invariably,
peasants, and
it was actually a good opinion. Like, I actually had a good opinion when I was a little tiny kid.
God, I can't
so
relate
it used to
so
drive
much
me
to it.
just up the wall. It would get under my skin so bad. So I couldn't wait to be a grown-up. I could not wait to be
same.
old.
But I don't like being the oldest. I like being one of the oldest.
I do. Because when I was a toddler, I had somehow got it in my head that it was a job, like a career choice, to be a grandparent. I thought that it was a career choice. Like you actually wanted to be a grandparent. I'm not a grandparent yet.
Your sons are
that you know of.
Young or just not?
Well, my older son, they're not even sure if they want to have kids, which is totally fine by me.
Yes.
My younger son says that he wants to have kids, but he's not ready, and that's totally fine by me.
How old is your youngest?
My youngest is just turned 19.
Oh, yes, he's too young.
Yeah, he's way too young.
And he
still looks like a baby.
You're 48, right?
Yes.
So I'm 42, so I'm number 2. Then we have Joe.
Yeah, and then John.
And John, you're 40.
John Proctor's 40.
Yeah.
Yes, and Tavi, how old are you?
35.
So Tavi's younger than me.
You're not among the oldest.
Nope.
Yeah.
Geek, you are
37.
8? Oh,
37. Ellie, how old are you? If you want to share.
39.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
so
39.
Tavi's
Oh
the
my
baby.
God, you look 10 years younger than that.
Yeah,
I hate
but
you.
I hate it.
I don't hate you, but
no, but I literally hate that I look as young as I do, because like Yuri said, people don't take you seriously, and it's annoying.
David is too young, like the psychiatrist.
The psychiatrist young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and see, on top of it, I
like
wanted
David.
to be old. When I was little, I thought it was a career choice. I wanted to be a grandparent for a living.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be a grandparent when I grew up because I was convinced it was a career choice.
Lynn P, do we know you? I don't know you.
Tim and I know. Yeah, Lynn P is a good friend of ours. And she also streams on Twitch too. And we have a lot.
Hi, Lynn P. I can wave at the fucking camera for once. Yay!
Lynn,
I always wave when there's no camera plugged.
Lynn is the one who, when it was following her streams, and she would talk a lot about like things she struggled with being autistic. That
your Twitch friends then?
Yes,
cool. That's cool.
Over a year of watching her talk about that, stuff started to sink in, and I started to realize, like, because I kept going, wait a minute, but I kept doing
but that's just normal.
the whole, but I do that and doesn't, and oh wait, no, not everyone struggles with you might be autistic.
Oh, I'm going to follow, not subscribe. I'm poor.
I can't
do that anymore.
No, Lynn Muth does a lot of cool. She does like political streams, but she does it where she actually just reads out loud like something that she wants to learn. Like she's been like. Yeah, which she's been reading W.E.B. Du Bois's Black Reconstructionism, and it's actually a quite fascinating read too. Yeah.
Yes, my subscriptions have expired. I don't have any money. Stop harassing me, Twitch. I can't pay anymore.
Just odd thing that's occurring to me with all this talk about age and this group.
Yeah.
So this group is like,
and Tom is 73.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this group is quite a few over 30, if not, I think.
Yes, we are middle-aged bitches. Especially John.
I mean, I'm a girl wolf, so. Look at it.
A bitch is a good thing in my brain, so you fit perfectly.
I am a good girl to a certain extent. Unless you're
Shut
a
up, David.
capitalist,
David says, I remember 1923 was a good year.
Shut up, David. As you were saying.
You're the same age as me, David, aren't you?
I'm not going to get too overly into it, but you know how like sometimes the topic of certain white online leftist celebrities that can get really problematic come up?
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
They tend to be about 30, 29.
Yeah. No, younger than that.
Yeah, she could benefit
to
be 15 years older than that.
I know some of them that are like 20 or 21 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitri says he's 55 in a month. You have to tell us when it's your birthday, babe.
What is it that you want to say, Tabi?
Oh no, I was just pointing out how like this group is a much older group, but like a lot of the places where I've been, where I've run into a lot more problematic stuff in leftist spaces, very particularly white leftist spaces, it tends to be very young.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then they think of me as being old.
I don't want to sound ageist, but I'm
young
going
people can fuck
to
off.
be ageist, but I think it's not surprising. Honestly, when I was 20, I was an asshole.
God, yeah.
I was
so much.
I mean, I didn't know
10,
everything
15
I know now.
I was horrible. I was so bad. None of you would like me.
Shut up, David. If we were talking about mental age, I would be 4.5.
Oh my god.
Because 14 is inherently funny.
Mental age is kind of ableist, so
True.
Yeah.
I was so much.
How so,
way
Ellie? I think I know why you're saying that, but
it's because it was used to categorize people into when you put people into institutions in.
Oh
yeah. Then you would categorize someone as like a 0 to 3-year-old and someone who couldn't learn anything. So you would stick them into a room and never deal with them again.
Okay, I see. I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I just mean,
very eugenics.
and in my case, I mean that
you have the maturity
level.
Dick jokes and poop jokes
maturity.
make me really loath.
I could segue into a topic that I'd been saving, that is something that's going on that I didn't know about. So apparently October is AAC Awareness Month.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
What?
AAC.
What's AAC?
She's a politician. She's in Congress.
No, that's AOC.
No.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Stop confusing me, John, for fuck's sake.
AAC. So
what is it?
I had to look it up. Augmentative and assistive communication.
So it's
I'm gonna double
a
check
month
the
for
term.
awareness for people who have
is that's for nonverbal folks, right?
Non-speaking, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
So cool.
Yeah. You got to be careful about that though, because you can get pseudoscience-y sort of scam stuff with that. People who claim to be talking for a nonverbal person claim that they're assisting a person.
It's about technology, you know.
The technology stuff is good, but when a person assists,
that's the assist.
I got the term
technology.
wrong. I got the term wrong.
Yeah.
Term is augmentative and alternative communication.
Okay.
It's the wrong thing.
So that's a technology.
There are things, and like if you go in that hashtag, because a lot of the people who are using that hashtag right now are non-speakers who use AAC. I'm gonna post a Twitter thread in it that's about this sort of thing. AAC.
That's really cool. I'm very interested.
The thread from Turtle.
Yes,
actually really good. I was reading it last night. Getting into stuff about assumptions about AAC. They do.
Doll, I am definitely a get off my lawn kind of girl.
Oh wait, we both posted the same thread.
Well, you post the hashtag, I post the thread.
Yeah, I was reading that one last night.
Ellie David says that's not what he meant with mental age. We know that's not what you meant.
But
it was still a good thing that Ellie said it.
Yeah. Because I just felt like I needed to, because
you're right.
It's so pervasive, and I also had an argument in a comment section about the people who this is related also
do not read the comments, babe.
To non-speakers. It was on a Cass Ayers video about the whole her shit book. No, not Abigail Schreier's shit book, if you know what I mean.
No.
It's like this irreversible damage. It's about trans people, and especially trans men. And there was a person in the comments saying,
I know that book.
And
Richard Dawkins loves it.
Yeah, and
of course he does.
But my point was, I got into an argument with someone who mentioned puberty blockers in sort of in relation to non-speaking disabled children, where some parents stunt their growth on purpose, and like,
Ew.
yeah, and to make them supposedly easier to care for. And I got into a huge argument because these surgeries are totally against the child's. There's no consent whatsoever.
It's a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that have to do with transness?
Yeah, it was like.
They both involve puberty blockers.
Yeah, and I
okay,
I just
and therefore they're exactly the same. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
and it like, but it just triggered my, no, not triggered, but I got so angry because it was just like, why are you mentioning this here when we're talking
but
about?
You were
because
right
they equate them. They're saying they're both child abuse.
Ellie,
yeah,
you were right.
No. The person was advocating
that
for that treatment of the disabled children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you were right to say something, Ellie. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You were really right, and David knows it. It just explains that's not what he meant.
Yeah,
and yes,
I know.
English is a silly language, David. We know.
Yeah, but it's like,
I'm not sure it translates better in another language, but.
So as Tavi was saying about like AAC Awareness Month.
Yeah, because they don't actually. I mean, I wonder if they've actually tried to give those children they are doing these things to the right means to communicate. That was what I wanted to say.
Oh yeah. That's
or
a good
maybe
point.
let them not communicate if they don't want to. I mean,
true.
Yeah, and stop stunting their growth. It's disgusting.
Yeah. God, do people actually? How do actual doctors prescribe that for children who don't have dysphoria?
It's
complicated, and it's disgusting, to be honest. It's
totally ableist.
Yeah.
And they prescribe meds that the child don't need to be more comfortable for the parents. Ew.
And it's also make sure that they cannot possibly
things
reproduce.
that are property of parents instead of as people.
I was just going to bring up the property thing. That's the part that gets me the most upset, is how many parents treat their children as if they're some kind of property, and
they don't
not
just treat them that
human
way.
beings.
They actually believe it.
Yes,
a lot
of people
kind
believe
of a staple of the Republican
Yes.
Party and their voters.
That's actually part of the reason why right now, like I would love somebody better to vote for than Democrats.
Right.
One of the things that, like, I'm sure I can hunt down all kinds of shit that I would disagree with Murphy about. I mean, it's not like he's kicked ICE out of the state completely or anything that I would really like. It's not like he's, defunded the police.
Who, Biden?
I could go on.
No, Murphy, the governor of New Jersey.
Phil
Oh,
Murphy.
okay. Oh, you live in New Jersey.
One of the things
There's a lot of jokes in the books I live about Jersey.
Yeah. All right. One of the things he did do when he came into office is that before he came into office, there was an almost unanimous bill to outlaw any form of marriage contract prior to both parties being 18 years of age.
Yes. As it should be on the federal level.
Vetoed it.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Christie is answerable to the fundagelicals who love marrying 50-year-old men to 13-year-old girls.
Places where his response was creepy as fuck.
Yes.
Phil Murphy, shortly after he came into office, went back to the original thing and signed it in.
Okay, I have a question. Why is it not signed on the federal level? Why
Republicans
can children be married?
Because
the Republicans aren't in power right now.
Because of religious freedom, I guess.
There's Trump
that's usually
did
the argument
a
done
shit
against
ton
that.
of executive
orders and things like that.
Why do no Democrats use that to outlaw child marriage? Honestly, they can't talk about the barbaric people in barbaric
Somebody's
countries.
gonna holler states' rights.
Yeah,
That's,
some,
oh my
and they do.
God.
Yeah,
Yes,
traditionally
they do.
that is one of the things that the states have taken care of.
Actually, the United States has to be the only country I know where child marriage is legal.
Yep, probably. But yeah, that's go ahead.
And the other things that I'm kind of like, I'm going like, people go like, yeah, you shouldn't be voting for either because, you know, we would like to just not have either of these parties. We would not like to have this government, which I agree. But it's like, there's that. I don't want them rolling that shit back.
Count the people who don't vote or not?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
so
if you're talking in terms of electoral process,
it's an
no,
empty
but it's
gesture
like,
then.
I don't have access to more direct actions, which I would like to be
No,
taken.
I know. But for example, in France, you can vote blank, but it's not counted. So
yeah, there's no point in doing that here.
there's absolutely no point doing it. Vote for that's why when I vote for the fucking Trotskyists.
Right.
At least I do something
Let's
meaningful, not
let
useful.
Tabby finish.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't really have anything where I can make an impact there. And the thing is, even with all the other shit I could pin on the Democratic Party. One, he did get rid of the child marriage bullshit. Two, he did give us legal protections for trans people using the bathroom. We actually have a law that says we have the legal right to use the bathroom.
Good.
We don't
That's
have
good.
to have like an official name change. We don't have to have no. It's just go use the bathroom that matches your gender identity. It's cool. That is what the law is.
Your gender. We shouldn't say gender identity anymore.
We have some improved laws where you can very easily change the gender marker on your birth certificate with the New Jersey Department of Records.
That's
if you were
good.
born in Jersey. Unfortunately, I was born in Texas, so I'm not going to be able to get that done. And just a few other things. One of the other things going on right now is mask mandates. We have a mask mandate for the schools. Yeah. I would like the schools to have not been opened, but I don't know if that was going to be a possible fight anymore. But we do have like a whole bunch of mandates for the schools versus places like Florida. They're like, oh, there's no mandate.
Yeah, well, Florida is
so far the other way where what do you call it?
It's scary.
Put forth a law that said that schools couldn't even decide to on an individual basis to do every state.
And the Republican Party in New Jersey wants.
You know, before I met
small government
people like you, I thought all Americans were like people in Florida. Yeah, for real, I'm not joking. Before I knew actual people from the US, I thought everyone was like in Florida. That was my vision of the US because
they're very loud.
That's what.
Stupid, so
yeah,
well,
but
I mean,
that's what
we are. It's just that Florida
too.
is honest because they have a law requiring police records to be available to the public. That's all.
That's
yes,
good.
They do.
Also, they have alligators. No, crocodiles.
Alligators.
Yeah.
I want one. I saw a friend of mine who showed me a video of him petting an alligator, and that I never have been more jealous of someone in all my life. I would be scared shitless if I saw an alligator, but seeing someone on video petting one, I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. I was so jealous.
I was once late for work because of an alligator.
Jordan Joan brings up an important point about like disability crap with kids in chat. This hasn't gone away, and the history behind this goes back really far, and it's really horrendous.
That's what sterilizing disabled folks.
The doctor wanted to sterilize her sister.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the Nazis started. Sorry to use the word the N-word.
Well, no, but remember, the Nazis didn't get that idea from nowhere.
No,
they got that idea from here.
Yes,
California was still sterilizing felons back in the 70s.
Inspired by the United States. I know that.
Yeah. And a lot of the various disability related, including like stuff at Ellis Island in terms of, we're going to examine people for all these different diseases, or they're doing like psychological exams and other things. All of it was very racially motivated. It was, and the like at the same times there was this whole push, oh, we're going to, you know, make sure that the genes passed down in society are of the best stock, and of course, I mean, there's a lot of fucking racism behind that. So a lot of the push to
ableism,
and well, yes. Well, the thing that I was getting at is, the more I go back and I study the history of ableism, the more I find that there is whiteness, and specifically anti-Black and anti-Indigenous racism, motivating the creation of the ideas that create the ableism.
Oh yes. Actually, race always amplifies everything, right?
Well, talk about being infantilized. Holy buckets, when you're Native American. Like, your own government is actually infantilizing you. So let's say that I've decided that I'm going to move back to the reservation. And so I petition the rest of my family to have a little 2-acre chunk to put a house on. And so they all sign off on it, and I pick out a corner of the common family property and little 2-acre spread. I'm going to put a house on there. Well, now that I have my 2 acres, if I want the actual deed to my 2 acres of property, I do not only have to petition the other family members to get this chunk of property, I have to petition the government. And the government gets to decide whether or not I am legally sane enough to own property.
Yep.
And that's the only way I'm getting the deed to my own land. That's the only way. Otherwise, it's held in trust.
By who?
As if I were by the government.
Oh God.
Now, is this is the state government or
the federal government?
Federal government.
That's what the Bureau of Indian Affairs is.
Does. Yep.
That's what it is. It is that entity. It is the parent to the infantilization of every single registered Native American in the United States.
I mean, when I see what I faced as a white woman, I can only imagine what people who have less privilege than me are. I've tried to have my tubes tied my whole life, and no one would do it because I didn't have kids. And now that we know that I have a genetic defect, I'm sure they would they would say yes.
Hot minute.
I'm 42. Honestly, I don't need to tie my tubes now. But if they treat a white person like that, imagine. Well, of course, you don't have to imagine, Joey. I'm sorry to say imagine. I have to imagine what it would be like if I wasn't white. And God.
Well, I have a friend who always wanted to never, or has always never wanted to have kids, I think.
Well, I'm the same. I knew when I was 5 that I would never want a kid.
She asked the doctor, you know, what would have to be done to have that procedure performed. And the first question they asked was, is there a pattern, or is there a history of genetic disability with, or, you know, that sort of thing in your family?
Oh God.
Yep. Yeah, because that's the easiest way to get it done. No questions asked.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they question you. They're gonna, because right on that questionnaire is the list of questions that they're gonna ask you is, well, what does your significant other think about this? Because of course.
Oh yeah.
If you are a womb owner.
Yep.
Like there must be somebody else who's in charge of it.
That's
not
funny.
You.
The first time I asked, I was 19, and so I was a major. I was in my right. Okay. And the first question they asked me is, what if you regret it? And I gave the very worst answer that I could have, because I said I'd rather regret that than regret having a child. And the woman didn't like that, because apparently no one regrets having a child ever.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, you never ask people who want children, what if you regret one day? People who want children are like, people tell them, oh, that's good. Well, not if they're poor or disabled, but...
Or black.
No, because it happens inside of black communities too. I think it goes beyond that.
Yeah, it happens in everybody's community. It was the same way in Native American culture. I mean, you're supposed to have kids. It's a given.
Women are supposed to want kids, especially to want them, because like in divorce, if a man doesn't ask for custody, no one is going to judge him, honestly. But if a woman doesn't want the custody, oh my God.
Yep. She is a monster.
Yes.
Yep. But also, if the man says that he does want custody and he says a whole bunch of shit about the woman, he'll likely be the one believed by the court.
Yes, 70% of the time when men ask for custody, they get it. So the argument that women are privileged in court is bullshit, because men don't have custody because they don't ask for it.
Yep.
It's more easy being the weekend parent, where you don't do all the difficult stuff with the kid. You just have fun with them.
Yeah.
No, I think they...
I said it, sorry.
And I think that's appropriate for children.
Well, it depends on how young it is.
Regarding the conversation we had just before about people treating their children like property, I shouldn't have said that. I'm not. If you can tell, I'm not a kid person.
Well, if you add an SH, I'll agree then, because they are. As much as I love the ones that I had.
That's the pronoun for children.
And that's funny, because I took care of children for a long time when I was younger. I was, the daycare for older children, the stuff when they don't go to school and you send them it wasn't camp because it wasn't in nature. We're talking about me there, okay? But I took care of children between 4 years old and 12. And the fuckers loved me. I was always yelling at them and treating them like little soldiers. They called me Sergeant Instructor Julie.
Yes.
Those fuckers loved me. I don't understand why.
Because in that way, children are very much, and I don't want to disparage kids, but in a way, they're more like dogs, where they love you no matter what.
Yes.
Like you can smell bad. They're going to comment that you smell bad, but they're still going to love you. I mean,
I like the little burgers. I'm not going to pretend I didn't like them, but it's because they weren't my children. But
you got to send them home at the end of the day.
Yes.
It is easier taking care of other people's kids. I can speak from having done both, taking care of other people's kids and, having
but also
done
they knew they were
stay-at-home
supposed to
parenting with
obey me. So this is something I abused, but when you don't have to negotiate for the direction you give children, it's better, because refuse and stuff like that, it's not as easy as children whose parents said you obey the lady.
I think that's a cultural thing, because in Denmark it's like if it's like child cares and like people in those kinds of places, if they tell you something and you don't want to do it, you know what you say? You say, go fuck yourself, and then you get in trouble, but you still do it. Yeah. It's a cultural thing in my country. We're not we're not necessarily raised to be very respectful of authority figures in a certain
really?
way.
In France, we're very opposite. That.
See, that's definitely a cultural thing, because among the Lakota people, you can't get anybody to listen. Like, I mean, and I'm talking as a chief myself. Like, it's like herding cats to try to get everybody to agree on a direction to go.
Yes.
But on the other side of that, while the culture encultures people to behave that way, it also is giving the same people a sort of baseline anti-authoritarianism that then
when you live under an authority that's utter shit all your life.
Well, and see, that's the thing, though. Like, all my life, I've lived under it, but it's only been 150 years that we've had to live under it for my people. For my people, it wasn't so long ago. And we were,
you're not talking about parental authority anymore, are you?
No.
No, but it's similar, isn't it?
I don't know. I think I could have benefited from some parental authority. My mom let me do exactly anything I wanted, and I don't think it was good for me. I think
I was allowed to do whatever I wanted to.
A little more,
But I would have to say it wasn't the discipline that I was missing. I had trauma in other ways, and I think that's what ends up happening to a kid is when you traumatize a child, then expect to have some pretty serious, behavioral issues.
Yeah, well, my mom was a junkie, so I think it's more an issue of that than the issue of.
Well, yeah, that's a source of trauma, though.
Yeah,
my family was sort of a bit more authoritarian than other parents, but for me, it worked the opposite way. It made me. I mean, when I finally had freedom to do whatever I wanted, I did whatever I wanted, and I didn't like listen even to like the good advice always. So it's I think from my own experience from being a child, I think there should be maybe some authority, but like it should be like. There can be
it should
some
be
leeway.
legitimate, like
it should be don't run into the road. Authority. It shouldn't be.
Parenting should also be done on a case by case basis. I was a child who needed how do you call that?
To be horsewhipped.
Guidance.
I needed
boundaries.
Yes, I needed. How do you call the thing where you put a painting in it?
A frame.
The frame.
A frame. I needed a frame. Something around me because my creativity is weird. It's very unbridled, and I'm. No,
you're the one that would paint the wall.
Yes. Wait. Yes. Oh God.
And drew on the wall. Yeah, you just need some kind of pad in front of you to draw on.
I didn't have a frame or boundaries, and I'm still the kid that paint the walls, not the actual walls, because I'm an adult now and I know it's stupid. But I still don't know how to canalize it. And I'm all over the place, and it's causing a lot of issue mentally.
You need some way to be able to focus that creative energy.
Yeah, I think I could have benefited greatly to have a parent that was less.
I think we don't raise kids the way that we used to, and I think that
my mother
damages
the opposite.
our kids.
Yes,
I think it damages our kids because it used to be that our children had usually a small tribe of adults that they could choose to pattern their own behaviors after, so they could learn all different sorts of ways of problem solving.
Yeah.
At the
Also,
same time,
I had just one parent. I
Right.
My dad died when I was 2, so I didn't.
And we used to
have
have like
parent.
we used to have mom, not just mom, dad, but we used to have also grandparents, both grandparents. You know, sets of grandparents were usually around, aunts, uncles, older siblings, cousins, you know, just all kinds of adults around us.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, the nuclear family is a recent thing, and used to be much larger, more extended. There was a community.
Yeah, I think it puts too much pressure even on two parents.
Better. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, often grandparents help the parents in nuclear families, but it's not something. We don't live with them. I mean, my grandparents helped my mom because she was alone, but it was like during summer break, and sometimes every Wednesday we went there, but it's not the same thing as everyone living together and educating the kids. When I went at my grandparents, it was in the farm, so it was good, but it wasn't very. There wasn't a lot of boundaries either. The only chore I ever had to do in my life was feed the chickens. And I like doing it. Well, I had to feed the geese too, and I didn't like doing it.
So
because
the geese
will try to kill you even when you feed them. I had to go with a long stick, and beat up the fucking geese. So they try to beat me.
Just imagining little girl Julie with the stick saying, "Fuck off, geese! Fuck off!"
Yes, evil.
Wolf is really enjoying the conversation, but also I'm falling asleep on everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to stop too because
later afternoon.
Yeah, it's been almost 3 hours now. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, already?
Yeah,
no wonder I'm hungry.
Aren't you going to do fishy fashy still?
No, I did
never
prepare fishy fashy.
Because
I forgot it was a thing, so I do have a fishy fashy prepared.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys do that. I'm like, I don't
usually don't do them for patron days.
That's because I forgot it was a second Sunday.
Oh, I knew it. Bad host.
We got
bye, Tabby.
Bye,
Tabby.
57.
Having me.
Laters.
Love you. Thank you for coming.
Okay, so I knew it.
We do have fishy fashy.
Okay,
well,
so
I'm going fishy fashy, and I'm fucking off.
Yes. Yeah. So first up, I was trying for a thing of the old the Four Horsemen kind of thing, but obviously Chris Hitchens is dead, and Sam Harris doesn't actually tweet anything. He just retweets people tweeting about. He just tweets his shows and he retweets
those
his
Four
shows.
Horsemen. I thought it was a Halloween team about the actual Four Horsemen.
Yeah, but I did get Richard Dawkins and Ion Hersey Ali, and then just rep Jesse Single. On,
I don't know who that is.
I know who Jesse Single is, but anyway.
He's a douchebag, writes for the New York Times.
Yes.
Transphobe.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, so does his name is Single? Is he well deserved? He doesn't deserve a partner.
Yes, but anyway.
Anyway, so first up we have Richard Dawkins, who agrees with Stephen Fry that being offended is a form of bullying.
Stephen Fry should fucking shut his mouth too. Honestly, I used to love that guy.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He used to be awesome, and he transformed into an old ass.
Yeah, just like the Monty Python. So continue.
Next up, we have Ion Hersey Ali, who thinks that CRT, critical race theory, is a conspiracy theory.
I don't know who it is, and I don't know what it is.
Hersey Ali, that was the person that came up with the term regressive left, like a left-wing people.
Oh, God.
She, a victim of...
She's an ex-Muslim, and she's
a refugee. She lives in Holland now, I think.
Okay.
She's was made most famous because she's had so many death threats made against her.
Oh.
Yep.
That's not. But she's a bigot. Okay.
Well,
critical race theory is just the thing that says racism is a thing and it's had a massive impact.
Oh,
and still
critical
has.
race theory. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
And she
yes.
thinks it's a conspiracy theory.
You said CRT. That's why I didn't understand what you were talking about. But I know what critical race theory is. Thank you.
Yes.
And Jesse Singal, thinks that criticizing him leads to dangerous radicalization.
That one is not a fake, I'm sure.
So let's go ahead and start with Katie.
I'm going to say Hersey that she said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think that one's the fake?
Yeah.
Okay. And Yo?
I think the second one, just because it names a person, would be really easy to be the fake just because you could have switched who the person was. So
No, the second one is Ayaan Hirsi Ali. Are you thinking the
Yeah,
one with Richard Dawkins? Or
Yeah, probably.
because Richard Dawkins agrees with Stephen Fry that being offended is a form of bullying, was the first one.
Yeah.
That's the one?
That one is very
That's what I'm
credible
going with.
too. It's hard.
On a purely meta thing, because all of those could easily be true. So,
And Jonathan,
Geek.
rolling the dice.
5 is the third one.
Oh,
right.
you were rolling a dice. Okay. Yeah. No,
So
a
I'll go
die.
with this. Yeah, I died.
A die.
Whichever
Okay.
one it was that you made up a good one.
Well,
Because
yeah.
I can't tell the difference between all three. They all
Yes,
sound like they could
He
say
doesn't make up stuff.
I take something
Joey.
and I change it, is all.
Exactly.
He modifies something. That's why they're all very credible. Well, I don't know the people in the second and third, so I'm pretty sure the Dawkins one is real because that's something it would honestly, yes.
Yes, it was on.
Yes. I don't know. I'm going to say the second because the woman I don't know.
Okay. Ayaan
It's
Hirsi
the
Ali.
second one.
Yes.
And Joey, you still have to choose.
I'm guessing number 3.
Jesse Singal. Okay, so you guys are pretty evenly split. Joe was going alone out on a limb, saying that Richard Dawkins did not agree with Stephen Fry. Here's the actual tweet. The deeply civilized, sparklingly eloquent liberal at Stephen Fry laments the epidemic of I'm offended bullying and the consequent pressure to self-censor. Note the difference between I'm personally offended and a reasonable person might be offended. So sorry, that one is not the fake. Richard Dawkins and Stephen Fry both think that being offended.
Of course they do. That was. I'm happy I have this one right.
So, moving on to the next one. Eddie and Julie, our European contingent, think that Ayaan Hirsi Ali does not think that CRT is a critical race theory, or critical race theory is a conspiracy theory. Ayaan Hirsi Ali, the actual tweet, critical race theory, CRT, has a remarkable ability to shapeshift into whatever form its advocates choose. Now, a different abbreviation has quickly become entrenched in schools and colleges. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. So no, she doesn't think it is a conspiracy theory. She does think that it's bad and that we shouldn't be doing this in schools, and she thinks that kind of anything can be critical race theory because she's an ignorant, bigoted jackass.
Well, anything
So,
can be
Eddie
Oh
and
my
Julie
God,
win.
I win.
Theory.
Yeah.
Critical race theory is a very specific
You're going
thing.
to have a song. In your butt, in your butt, in your butt, in your butt. I have the camera so I can even do the dance.
Yes.
Not too much because I don't have a bra and it's going to be painful.
Oh,
Move too much.
Which means that-
I have lost a chin, but I don't have lost my boobs yet.
So, which means that, sorry, Jonathan and Joey, Jesse Singal does think criticizing him is bad. I would
Of
still find
course
this
he
sort of
does.
thing pretty disturbing
You
and would
can't
like it
make
to
that
stop.
shit up, honestly.
I don't do this for just random drive-by criticism, but a writer openly fantasizing about toasting my death is
In your
really
column,
inappropriate.
David says.
And the second post, the follow-up is online radicalization is bad.
Says the
No
person
shit,
who's
Charlie.
responsible for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, talk about being full of yourself.
Yes.
Jeez.
Who said they were going to toast their death? Because that's
Yeah,
great.
some people really take themselves seriously. It's it's
I
kind
mean,
of
really
funny, honestly.
seriously, really,
It's
really
scary.
seriously.
Yeah, it's scary, but
Yeah.
it's also kind of funny because
I know, right?
I personally don't take myself very seriously. Because
I don't take most other people seriously, let
Yes.
alone myself. There's I'm not an expert on anything.
Yes,
and I
no,
don't
and
take
so
experts
I am,
seriously
but
half the time.
even then, I can't laugh at I can laugh at myself. It's good for the the brain health.
Mhm.
Obviously, I take everything very seriously. I'm a very, very
Yeah,
serious
that
person.
I know. It's been 3 years since we've started that thing that we do, and you take it so seriously. It's
Oh, that was the
for those who don't understand sarcasm. I'm not serious.
It's not good to be like 100% serious all the time anyway.
No,
Well,
especially taking oneself too seriously, because
yes,
you can't handle
And-
criticism if you do.
and also like hyperbolic death threats. It's just that why are you taking it seriously? It's like it's like
It wasn't even a death
We-
threat. They were just saying that they would celebrate when he died.
yeah, but it's like it's like even if people, even if I mean I have to be so careful what I say on Twitter sometimes, because sometimes you want to say something about a certain turf person, and he will come after you and get you banned for.
yeah.
Are you talking about Gremlin?
Yeah.
John Lindenham, Grand Lindenham.
I thought it wasn't banned.
I think he is, but
But he has socks. He has sock puppets.
Yes, of course he does.
Sock puppets, and that's the thing that turfs just do. They just go back there so malicious and with their bigotry, and so they'll go back like tens of years as far back as they need to and find one thing that you said that was a bit out of context or can be perceived to be like ableist or something like that, and report.
And then they show it to all their friends, and you get mass reported, and boom.
I once got banned for 12 hours, but for wishing that Graham Linehan would choke on his own smugness.
Okay.
Well, that is
People
obviously a very
doesn't
credible death threat.
understand hyperbole.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Being banned for hyperbole happened to me on Facebook once.
Yeah, but that was against the turf, wasn't it? Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
I'm not talking to people anymore, so I'm good on Twitter.
So go to Twitter where you're not told not to talk to people, as it were.
Yeah,
hear that, people? Litter Arnold, stop talking to us. It's not talking to us.
I went and followed political shit again, like Kevin Logan and Steve that I had unfollowed. Mm-hmm. because mental health.
Yes,
and
exactly.
It's not what's fucking with me, so it's okay. I think I have a necessary distance with social media and my brain well-being.
Yes, exactly. So we're at the.
I'm going to leave now because Myrin is going to bed, and I don't want to. I'm talking.
Well, we're wrapping up. We're about to finish.
You don't need a
okay. So
yes. Bye, Julie.
Bye, Julie.
Bye, Julie.
Bye.
I love you.
Love you too.
So don't forget to check out the Taffy Wolf's Twitch channel or put it into the description right there. Joey Fire Lame Deer or Joey Lame Deer has a Patreon, and there's the link to Joey's Patreon. And Summer and a Geek I'm Summer and a Geek on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I finally uploaded a new video on YouTube, so check that out. I'll should upload more videos on YouTube. I'll probably will stream later today, maybe, as it were. And that's it. My pitches. John Brockman, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Yes, Dungeons and Debacles. Totally different from this. We're playing a D&D game. We've been going for 5 years now. Mm-hmm. It's a heck of a lot of fun. Entirely different from this. I mean, I'm pretty much the same, but everyone else.
Yes. And don't forget the charity links on that page is also in the description down below as well to help if you have extra money help out some people in need. And don't forget to check out our Patreon because every second Sunday of the month, when I reminds John Brockman, we gave the link to our patrons so they can come in and join the call and hang out with us and talk over each other as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and with that, we'll go ahead and say goodbye. Remember,